at least that information will be able to, help us know where we are going to start off to, or with, like the country we are going to start off with. We're able to tell the age group of the people that would be interested in our products. So we're able to know how we're going to start out. Do we start out with smartphones, like apps, or do we go directly to the website? Or, even on the perspective of our advertising and marketing, who are the kind of influencers that we are going to use to boost our sales? Because, these things depend on the age group. For example, if you bring somebody like, say, someone like Mr. Macaroni, he's going to speak to a particular age group. However, someone like Shola Shobowale will speak to a different kind of age group. So these are the things that we did in our market research. These are the information that we're able to spool and then find out exactly how we are going to kick off our products. Next slide, please. Yes, so we did a very brief comparative analysis. Actually, our product is very unique on its own. Why I say this is because if you notice, most from our market research, obviously, most of the other rivals in quote that we have, they are just majorly logistic companies, but ours has a very unique twist to it, which is we are not just sending and receiving items or transporting items from one part to another. Our major goal here is to send food items. So from this slide, my colleague Sheon is going to take over from here. Thank you so much for listening.
All right. Good morning. My name is Sheon. And basically, my colleague Claire has given us a bit of an insight into Niger Food Basket and what we represent. She's given us a clear picture of the product overview and why. Why basically, as she mentioned, is the process of buying African food in the diaspora. The lack of efficient and streamlined approach to ensuring consistent product quality, affordable pricing, and maintaining shopping integrity. And this basically has led to customers being dissatisfied and having missed out on market opportunities. And she's also broken down the market research and how we got there. So talking about them versus us, which basically looks at the advantage we have here is that from their own in African food stores in different locations, what they have what they have over us basically is that they are basically the locations are basically easy to access. They're right there in people's faces. But on the other hand, we still have an issue of people complaining about the cost of this produce or this farm produce, which is basically where we intend to come in, make these products pretty much much more affordable, keep them fresh, and get them across to customers in good time, and they are able to enjoy that, basically enjoy that level of affordability from our own end. Now, come down to the product summary. Can we go on to the next slide, please? Okay, bringing Nigeria's finest flavors to your doorstep. This is basically us giving you a breakdown of the Niger Food Basket app and what it's basically supposed to represent. So talking about technical details of the app, our food export app is available for both iOS and Android devices. So there's no issue with basic phone users being unable to actually access our app, making it accessible to a wide range of users. It utilizes the state-of-the-art encryption technology to ensure the security of your personal and financial information, which is some of the things that we know that are critical to end users or those who are going to be making use of our app. So the app requires a stable internet connection for browsing and placing orders. The next is our social proof. Now, thousands of Nigerians in the diaspora have already embraced our app, but we're looking at them being able to basically embrace our app because of the fact that based on what's called market research based on the fact that this is supposed to actually be solving a major issue for them, which is the need to actually be able to buy food at a very, very affordable rate. Imagine someone having to buy yam, and then you're buying yam for as high as what's it called, for as high as £3, per kg, which means that an average tuber of yam probably will come to about 5 kg, should come to about £15 or thereabouts. So in terms of Nigeria's diaspora, have already embraced our app with rave reviews, highlighting the app's reliability, quality products, and excellent customer service. So join the community of satisfied customers who have reconnected with their cultural heritage through our app. Now, our call to action basically is the experience. It's an experience in the true essence of Nigerian cuisine, wherever you are. So download our app today and embark on a culinary journey that connects you with your roots. Now, coming back to our revenue stream, which is a major part of this entire process, the product sales, which is one of our major revenue points. The idea for us to actually generate revenue through the direct sales of raw food materials with a competitive pricing model that ensures profitability. And the intent for us basically is to mark up the prices at something that we know that by the time it lands at the doorstep of the consumer, it should actually still come to them at a much more affordable price than they would get from the African store. Now, advertising and partnerships. One of the things we're obviously looking at taking advantage of through the app is advertising. Considering the volume of customers that will be coming to the app and will be making use of the app on the regular, we see advertising revenue here as a major opportunity for us. Now, coming to our business, our business model. Now, key partners here for us are logistic companies, technology companies. Please move on to the next slide, please. Key partners here are logistic companies, technology companies, shipping companies, social media influencers, farmers, and business owners. And our key activities are sourcing for quality products, competitive pricing, shipping, advertising, marketing, building a simple and usable platform. Then our value proposition is an online marketplace for purchasing Nigerian food items and spices and snacks, which focuses on timely delivery, fresh food items, customer satisfaction for Nigerians in the diaspora. Our customer relationship basically is Africans living in diaspora, people interested in African food. Then our channels basically is through social media, Instagram, Facebook, and the rest of them, Twitter and the rest of them. And then we have our customer segments being Africans living outside the diaspora, with the focus initially at those living in the United Kingdom, students, families relocated for a better living standard, and the workers on transfer. We also, then our key resources actually are farmers, representatives from shipping companies, back-end developers / front-end developers, product designers, branding materials, and support team. Our cost structure is basically for us to branding materials, the developers, warehouse, digital marketing costs, and cloud infrastructure. And our revenue stream, like I mentioned earlier, is through retail sales, also bulk sales, as in bulk orders, commission from shipping companies, and display of ads. Okay, so the next thing we have here is our user persona. You can move on so that others can get to see it. Talking about our user persona here, our basic user persona here is the case study of Naomi Emmanuel. Naomi Emmanuel is a 29-year-old operational manager who's married with kids and who lives in the United Kingdom. Naomi is a second-generation Nigerian living in London, UK. Prior to her family relocating to the United Kingdom for better educational possibilities at age 10, she was born and reared in Nigeria. Naomi deeply identifies with her African background, despite having lived most of her life in London. She is passionate about upholding her cultural customs and staying connected to her roots. Now, what are her goals? Her goals basically is access to authentic African food, considering that she was nurtured and reared with this while she was growing up, convenience and seamless ordering of this food, which is basically not particularly available to her, except she walks into the African stores, which are more expensive, reliable delivery, which is basically part of the things we're offering, catering to dietary preferences, informative and engaging experience, community building, African snack options. We're talking here of someone who grew up with kulikuli, dankwa, babadudu, and the rest of it. So moving on from that, we're coming to our product roadmap. So our MVP here basically says that in the first month, in the first month of trying to put our apps together, we're focusing on the authentication process. In the second month, we're looking at or working on our user profile. In the third month, we're working on our order page. And lastly, by the fourth month, which is within a quarter, we should have our payment process and our final app ready. And this is basically what our app demo would look like. Obviously, at the end of the day, it will come up a lot better. Do not consider the idea of what we have there. It's just a demo. We can see that we have what's it called, our delivery. Sorry, our other page where we have our afang, palm oil, yam, and then once they place their orders, it goes into the carts, and from the carts, the order is confirmed, and then you have the order history, and that's basically it. Now, moving on to our North Star metrics. Now, our North Star metric basically here is looking at by once we have 1,000 successful orders, we're looking at being able to, from the launch of our app, have at least 1,000 successful orders in the first month. And this is just being conservative. We're not, of course, we know that we obviously will do better than this, but we're looking at the worst case scenario. And this worst case scenario is us being able to do at least 1,000 successful orders in the first month. Other metrics we're considering is for us to have been able to do at least 50,000 pounds, dollars or pounds in processed orders. Pounds particularly because we're looking to start off, like I mentioned, with orders from the UK. Now, less than we're looking at the case where we have worst case scenario of probably 50 refunds, of course less. We're talking about having not less than 10,000 users get to the order confirmation page, 10,000 users sign up in Q1. This is something that we really believe we can actually do and make the best of. Now, expansion to the West African. So when it comes to scalability for us, we're looking at moving from just seven Nigeria as a country to other West African countries. So by the time we're serving other West African countries, it means that we can get Ghanaian food, Kenyan food, and the rest of it across to this other West African, to these other Africans living in diaspora. And this is another major edge for us. So providing a customized storefront for the farmers is something we're also considering in the near future, whereby farmers can actually also at some point, with some level of breakdown and explanation, get to also put these products directly on the website and people can place their orders. Now, talking about our $100,000, which is what we're looking at putting on here, we're looking at a budget of 25% of that going to marketing, 50% going to development team, and 20% going to the operations and inventory, branding, and the rest of it. Now, talking about our SWOT analysis, our strength here basically is the price of our goods. Our prices are going to be, like we mentioned earlier, way more affordable than what you get in the average working markets or anywhere else, because we're also aware that if people normally have, basically have arrangements where food is moved from here abroad. So we're looking at our strength, our major strength here basically is our competitive pricing. Our opportunities is that this is the first of its kind. As I speak to you, you can go online and check. You would not find anything structured around the area of around the area of food, African food moving to diaspora in terms of an app and all of that. Talking about our weaknesses, our weakness here basically is the competition offers proximity and ease of access. But at the end of the day, we also understand this very, very clearly, which is the fact that most people would rather buy these food products in bulk. So if I'm buying in bulk, obviously the African market over there with its access is not good enough for me. Now, threats. The threats here for us basically are the economic changes that could affect shipping costs and would take advantage of the situation, which we obviously understand and we would work around. Now, our pricing, although there's been some adjustment to this after some real life conversation and consultation, and we realized that actually in terms of profit on seasonal items, we can't be doing as much as 50% markup on each on this food produce. And with that, our sales point being one of the points that we actually intend to make our money from. That's literally saying we're making 50% markup or having 50% markup on every sale. That's pretty huge. For foods that are out of season, we're actually looking at a case of 70% markup. And that's another angle that we're looking at looking at for our pricing. I'm talking about location. Location basically here for us means locations that we're actually targeting at the moment to get our food produce across to. And obviously the biggest markets where we have Nigerians are the UK, Canada, and the US. And based on that, we're looking at starting off with the UK and then moving on to other parts. Now, our marketing strategy basically is to engage all social media platforms and also engage influencers. We're also looking at, obviously working with referrals and the display of ads on mobile applications and what have you. These are basically links to our resources being on the next slide. And then finally, we thank you for your time. We're happy and we're willing to take any questions from you. Thank you very much.
All right. That was a very nice presentation. Although you guys do want to have your presentations first. I don't know why that happened, but it's great. So right now I'm going to pass the mic to our panelists to give to ask the questions and also to give their feedback. I Omotayo, I promise I Chioma.
Hi Adele. Hi guys. Good morning. First of all, good job on the work that you've put in and on your presentation. Yeah, let's get into it. I think I have a few problems. Maybe problems is the wrong word with your app. I don't want to say I know that there's that problem or there's that gap where people are not able to easily access African food at a cheaper rate. But I don't think you assessed or you evaluated the why. It's not that African food is not available. It's that African food is not fresh and it's expensive, right? And I was hoping that in your market research, you were going to find out why that was and actually address that problem as well. Because the only difference is that you're building an app, which is, stressful for me. I would rather go to the store that is 2 minutes from my house and look at the food I want to purchase. I don't like buying fresh food online, personally, and I feel like a number of people would have that same because you want to look at the tomatoes, you want to look at the the yams and etc. I feel like a lot of the issues that actually surround exportation and importation of fresh food was not addressed, which is mostly customs related issue. In majority of the countries, you can't just bring food in. They have to go through special screenings. You have to get special licenses and whatever. And it is not all food types you can bring in. It is so interesting that if you're bringing in teas, and that's the reason why when people are even traveling with flights and they are hoping customs doesn't stop them and see the fish in their bag, because you're literally not allowed to bring in fish into the UK, into the US, into Canada. It's so crazy that even some foods or vegetables that you're allowed to bring in, if you're stopped by customs at the airport and they search you and find it, and they find as something as tiny as an ant or a weevil or one of the insects that are usually with like greens, for instance, they're going to seize and destroy the food, because they're going to feel like, and they're even going to disinfect your entire bag, because they're going to feel like you're bringing foreign insects into their ecosystems, and it can distort the delicate balance, because a lot of these insects that we have in Africa are not the same ones that they have in Europe, in America. So the government of these countries are very particular about things like that. And I don't think you did research on that. So people that actually import food into the UK, into the US, into Canada, need to go through a lot of regulation and check to ensure that the food that they are bringing in is safe. And that's the reason why it can get expensive. Another thing that makes it get expensive is because they have to preserve it. I read a story on Twitter about some guy who, he was telling us about his failed business. This was years ago, right? And he said, he went to Maiduguri, or one state in the north, and he saw yams, plenty yams for like 100 naira, give an analogy, because I cannot really remember the actual price. And then he came to Lagos and saw the same yams for like 5,000. And he's like, guy, this is a 50 piece, like 50 times, 50 times the original price. I know that taking a bus from Maiduguri to Lagos is is 100 naira. So why is it 5,000 naira by the time he gets to Lagos? So he said he didn't ask anyone. He went back to Maiduguri, spoke to the market people. In fact, went directly to the farmers. So instead of buying it at 100 naira, he was even buying at 80. So even cheaper than it was being sold at the market. And spoke to one of these truck drivers to help transport it down to Lagos and all of that. But you see, what he didn't take into account was what was going to happen on the road. Because the roads were bad, a number of the yams fell off. Because there's corruption at different checkpoints, they had to, quote unquote, settle policemen throughout the journey. And by the time they now got to Lagos, apparently there was a union in the market that you cannot sell or bring goods into the market without being a part of, or first having some sort of agreement with them. Basically, he now had lost money because he had spent more than he even envisioned to, because his capital that he thought he was going to be his capital, he didn't really think it through. And by the time he got to Lagos, he literally could not sell the yams. He had to be asking his friends, do you want to buy yam? But then he had gotten a lot because he thought he was going to be taking it to market. And, he just had rotten yams. Eventually, he said he had to basically give them to one of the market women at like a ridiculous price, so he doesn't make a complete loss. And I feel the same way about this app. I feel like why this problem exists has not been fully addressed. And this is just an app that is replacing a store that already exists. I feel you're still going to have the problem with preservation. You cannot bring yam except you want to fly it. If you're going to take yams from Nigeria to Canada and you want to use ship, it's going to take a couple of days and your yam is going to start rotting. How do you intend to preserve that? I didn't hear anything about that or how that process goes. I did not hear that you did research on the quantity and quality of things you can bring into the country and the customs laws of bringing those kind of items into those countries. I didn't hear about, I didn't even hear about how you're going to price. How do you determine your price point? What makes you feel like you're going to be cheaper simply because you're getting it from the farms? Who told you that the African store that is close to my house isn't getting it from the farms? So I feel like, yeah, good idea, but I don't think it addressed the why. And I am, if I am wrong, please correct me. If you have the answers to these things I have highlighted, please let me know. But that is what I have to say.
All right, thank you very much. We appreciate your feedback. And the truth basically is that because of the need for us to actually manage the amount of slides we are presenting, we obviously haven't put so much detail on the slides. If you go to our resources page, you will have access to a couple of other things that we didn't put up here that gives you a deeper explanation of how these things actually pan out. Now, the truth sincerely is that we are well aware of all of those problems that I've actually mentioned, and most of them have honestly been captured into our process, and as such, they're not really a problem as far as we understand it. So did people still move all of these things that we complain about that appears immobile or immovable, and they get them across to the UK, they get them across to the US, they get them across to everywhere you need to get them to. We are very much aware of the problems. We are very much aware of the difficulties that people go through with all of these things. We're willing to, in fact, if you go to Wasukobia, the idea for us to actually have bans for yam and a couple of other stores that are intended to actually manage and keep some of this food as fresh as they need to be till they go out. And for that reason, most of the things you've talked about are well covered. We just can't have them all on the what's it called.
So you're telling me that they are well covered, but you're not telling me how. I want to hear how. How are you going to, how do you plan to preserve it? What is it going to cost you to preserve it? How are you going, what are the, for instance, your first market is UK, right? What are the customs law? Just give me one customs rule in UK with regards food importation. What kind of meals can you bring in? What do you need to pay for? What are the levies? When you import stuff, you need to pay duties and taxes on those importation. For every tuber of yam that you're bringing in, give me a sample. I want to assume that you worked with certain food types. Let's say you're starting with yams. You're buying a tuber of yam from Nigeria for 1,000 naira. When it gets to the UK, how much tax are you paying on it? I want to know. When it gets to the UK, are you allowed to bring it in? What licenses do you need in the UK to import this thing in? I'm not saying tell me that it's been sorted. I'm saying tell me how you plan to sort it. Tell me what research you've done to ensure that it has been sorted. I want to know the details, not just that it has been sorted. Do you get what I mean?
Okay, so thank you very much. The idea basically for us with this is that some of this research that you're talking about has not been taken on head on from our own end. And we didn't take them head on because we don't intend to get into some of those nitty-gritty. We're working with partners in the UK, in the US, and in Canada for some of these things. And these partners are actually people who have been known over time to move food items from Nigeria to the UK. We don't want to get to the nitty-gritty. Our focus really for us is our app. Our app, getting the food locally across to these places. If we are to get ourselves to the nitty-gritty, then it will cost us a lot more. So we haven't bothered ourselves with most of those nitty-gritty, but just dealt with known, we're dealing with known partners across these countries that have been tested and trusted to deliver stuff like this. So that's why in our WhatsApp, we mentioned that when we talked about our partners, we talked about some of these logistics companies that we're intending to deal with. We don't want to get into most of that nitty-gritty.
Yeah, how much are your logistics? Yeah, I get that. How much is your logistics company charging you to bring in food items? Also, saying you don't want to get into the nitty-gritty. Go on.
It's about 550 naira per kg for some of them, and 450 naira per kg, depending on the location that it's actually going to.
Okay, cool. Now, looking at the 450 naira and 550 naira per kg, that is to doorstep delivery of the customer, because when you get into the UK, I assume that you're not going to be bringing items one after the other, right? That when Omotayo orders one yam,
of course, the focus for us is bulk delivery.
Okay, cool. So when it gets to the UK, what is your plan on preserving or keeping it in the UK?
So, like I said earlier, our focus here is to actually work. Like I said earlier, our focus here is doing most of this nitty-gritty of it moving out of the country through our suppliers. Through our partners. And our partners already have setups for these things that they're actually running through.
So does the 550 include, sorry for cutting you short, does the 550 include preservation and keeping it in the UK? I feel like if you don't understand the nitty-gritty of how they work, it's going to cause a lot of operational issues for you as well. And even what if they are doing illegal things? If you're partnering with someone, you're liable for, some of the things that because it's to just be assumed that So I'm not saying know exactly how much they're paying, but I'm saying know how it works. So now you said you have a partner that's going to ship for you, that's charging you 550 per kg. Do you have a partner to preserve in the UK? Do you have a partner to ship within the UK? And if you do, how much is that going to cost? Now, have you done that total price comparison with working with all these partners with what we currently have today? Why should I use it? Because I didn't see that as well.
Okay, like I said earlier, for us, we're not intending or going to bother ourselves very much with a lot of most of the storage beyond storage here in Nigeria. So beyond storage here in Nigeria, the focus for us to work with our partners, and our partners have given us clear-cut assurances. We've seen a track record of what they've done in the past. And based on the conversations we had with them, we've seen that we can actually, based on what we are charging, because what we are really earning from this is our markup from the food itself. So the idea, for example, is this. Like you mentioned earlier, yam is going for 100 naira. All I need to do, all we are interested in from our own end is making yam 200 naira. And with all of that process, from what we've calculated, it lands there at a cost that makes it far fairer than what you will get in your African store. Your African store, for example,
I'm asking you what this cost is, and you're not giving me numbers. You're not, again, it's okay to not know. It's okay to not have the answer. I'm not just convinced. You're not giving me these numbers. I feel like if you had, I
gave you some numbers earlier about what this thing comes in per kg for each of this.
Yes, but I've asked you a bunch of other things. You're saying you're not concerned about the nitty-gritty. So if you bring in 20 kg of yams today, and you by today you have just 2 orders of of 2 kg. The remaining 18 kg, you don't care where it's going to be or how it's going to be kept. By the time next week you have another 10 kg of yams, you don't know what has happened. They'll tell you, well, we dropped it at the dock. So you
like
can't.
I explained, ma'am, the idea basically is that these people are people that are known and are trusted. And the idea is that from what we understand from them and from their own end, all we need to do is get it across to them. They preserve it and get it across to what's it called? Because all that really needs to happen is that once it gets to their own end, we reach out to our own customers from here to say that you can have your order picked up from so and so person, or if they want it moved to them, it's moved to them almost immediately. So that's basically how this works from our own end. From our own end to our partners in the UK, in the US, in Canada, from them, either the customers come do a pickup or it is moved, it is sent further on from there.
Okay, I'm going to let another one of the panelists go now, but I'm not convinced that your business model is going to result in cheaper produce or fresher produce. I feel like it's flawed and there's a lot of intricate details that you've not really thought of. And that's fine. That's what, this is all about. But again, that's just my opinion because I'm not convinced that you don't care about what's going to happen. That sounds ridiculous to me.
We didn't say we don't care. We're saying that we're working with trusted partners.
Yeah, but you're saying you don't know how they're going to do that. That still sounds ridiculous. You don't know how your partners are going to help run your business. Nah, I'm not convinced that. So if your partners don't keep your yams safe and properly because I know yams need to be stored in dry places. What if their warehouse is moist? What if all of those things? And then they ship out spot yam? What is your quality assurance process? I'm like I said, I'll just stop speaking now and yield to another panelist and yeah, but good job on the app though. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Omotayo. I think our time is fast spent. So I'm going to move on to Promise Chioma, please, who's going to speak? Okay, I see that Chioma's mic is unmuted already. Please, you can go ahead.
Okay, well done, Team Giza. While I agree with Omotayo's what she pointed out. I agree, a huge deal. But I don't. Let me comment on something else. I have concerns with your product roadmap. Can we go to that slide?
Okay.
Okay. So, is this for your MVP? Okay, it's really for your MVP. Okay, so I'm a bit concerned that it's going to take you 4 months to launch your MVP. I'm concerned about the time allocated for each of the features here. I'm seeing authentication, that's signing in and out of the app. It's going to take a month to implement, and then user profile, order page. Why is that?
We're actually breaking these things down as worst case scenarios. We're saying back and forth between us and developers, time to look at it, test it, be sure that these things actually come out as it's supposed to come out. That's why we've put that in. Beyond that, we're not really looking at it taking that much time, but we're saying, okay, worst case scenario, how long really should all of this take us to actually put things together?
Okay, if we go with the context of what is supposed to be, where they're supposed to be pitching on getting $100,000, putting this in front of me and saying, oh, this is the worst case scenario. I don't know, it doesn't inspire a lot of confidence in getting this app ready. So you may want to look at that. It just feels like it's just generic. 1 month for authentication, 1 month for user profile. The other page, which I even feel has other components in it, is going to take the same amount of time it takes to do authentication. The payment process is just 1 month. and I feel like it's too long. MVP is supposed to be something you get out as fast as possible. It's just enough features to show what you're trying to do, and then it's going to take 4 months. I have real concerns about that. Then
Okay.
look at your user story. I think it's a slide before this. Can we go to that?
Okay, yeah.
Yes, this slide. Just based on the problem statement, everything you've said about your product, I don't know if using a second generation Nigerian as your user persona was really the best, because this person, this person has lived her life, all her life abroad. Maybe her parents are the ones, yes, that came to the country. I don't know if I don't know if the pain point would be as much to this person as someone who just relocated from the first generation Nigerian, actually, because you say person longs for the taste of home. Home has always been the UK to this person. So do you want to speak on that?
Yeah. Apparently, at the end of the day, for when we ran our research, actually, the idea really for us with this was just like a case scenario, but obviously we're looking at something that cuts across all all of those in diaspora, especially those you just mentioned. But obviously, perhaps we would have used a better user persona in this case, or user story, better put. But I mean, at the end of the day, for us, something that's intended to cut across from the second generation to those who have just moved in, and those who literally live their lives in Nigeria and go in there to work every now and then.
Okay. Then lastly, you said your unique value proposition. Can you remind me of your unique value proposition? What makes your app special?
Okay, so what we're really offering, like we mentioned earlier, is more affordable pricing with our food. That's pretty much what our focus and intent is, considering what most people actually do outside there. Looking at an example that was given earlier, where someone goes to Maiduguri, sees yam for 80,000 naira, is able to get yam for 80,000 naira, but because he didn't join a particular group, he couldn't sell his yam. So we're assuming in this case that that group probably had been joined, before. I mean, the proper research had been done before he joined, before he started selling yam. He probably would have joined that kind of group, and he obviously would have done really well with yam, because from what we know, even on a local level, people do as much as 200% profit on selling these yams, even locally, talk less of doing it internationally. And for that reason, like I mentioned earlier, our focus really here is our cost effectiveness in terms of the landing. The landing cost of this food produce to wherever it's going in the diaspora.
Oh, okay. But based on
Like our unique,
now, that pricing has not really been not done enough research to know if that's actually going to be the case. It sounds like that will not be the case. But okay, thank you. Well done.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, everyone. I think we have really spent a lot of time on the first team, and we would like to move on to the second team. In as much as we want to get questions, we want to get feedback, we need to run. So but before we move, I know that Promise has not given her feedback yet. So Promise, please, if you don't mind, can just give your feedback in a minute, please. Thank you.
Hi. I think everything has already been touched on. The logistics part, and I think my concern was the logistics and the preservation of the goods. But yeah, I think everything has been touched on.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone, and thank you to our panelists, and thank you to everyone that has spoken, and thank you to all the team members from Team Giza. Well done job. I believe that we're going to take this feedback that's been given to us to properly work on the things that we have already worked on, so that we already got the constructive feedback. We already got the questions, and there's some questions that we did not give appropriate answers to. We can go back to the drawing board and try to give and try to work on that with our teammates after this particular session. So thank you to everyone that contributed on this case study. So we're going to be moving on to the next team that's supposed to be presenting. I'm going to share my screen once again. This is me giving a shout out to everyone that is watching us on YouTube. You can also drop your questions if you have any questions, so that these can also be attended. So please, let's make sure that we keep the time. The presentation time for each team is 15 minutes. And also we have our panelists have 15 minutes to speak on, to give their feedback and also ask questions on the, on what has been spoken about by a particular team. So by 15 minutes, that means each panelist has about 5 minutes each to speak. So my pin is here again. This is my wheel of names. So we have 3 teams left. Team Artemis, Colossus, and Olympia. So I'm going to be spinning my wheel. The team that gets selected is going to go next. Please, let's not waste any time. If you're not ready to make your presentations, you can just speak. But just know that once you're selected to present and you're not ready, you're going to be making your presentation last, and that is going to cost you 5 points from what you get from our panelists. Thank you. So spinning the wheel now. So, okay. Yeah, Team Colossus, here we have you, Odera, Blessing. Are we ready for me? For us, not me. Are we ready to go? Please, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. So please, you can go ahead to share your screen and start your presentation.
Good morning, everyone. Sorry, let me just try. Let me share my screen. Okay, can everyone see my screen?
Yes. I can see your screen.
Okay. All right. Thank you for the opportunity to be here. I'll just go on with it because we don't have much time. Okay, so TryMe. I'm using TryMe as a product. So the slogan of product is
Sorry
reach.
to interrupt you. Do you mind putting your slide on presentation mode? So that,
on presentation mode, okay, sorry.
Slideshow. Yeah.
Sure. Is this better now?
Yeah, good.
Okay. So yes, so our product name is TryMe. It enables you reach a provider. So it's just reach your service provider. So yes, product description. So TryMe is a product that focuses on connecting artisans, vendors to end users. So we want to connect artisans and vendors to users that actually need their services or actually need the products they have to offer. So yeah, the objective of the product is just basically to connect customers with vendors and artisans, and also create a platform where artisans and vendors can access a significant population of their target audience. So the next thing there is our goal. What's our goal? What do we aim? What's our aim for the product? So we want to facilitate network and connection and collaboration between customers and vendors. We want to empower vendors and artisans, skilled workers especially, that there's a platform where they can be able to reach as much customers as they can to render their service. Sorry, are we still on? I just want to, because I think my screen went off. Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. So We also want to promote trust and reputation between customers and vendors. We want to expand demand and supply base by actively attracting users to our platform and with promotions and all. Then we also want to drive sales and revenue by making our platform a favorable environment, user-friendly environment where customers can come in and access service providers and also get what they need, the products they need, and continuously improve our user experience. We want to make the whole process seamless for our customers. So who are we actually creating this product for? What is our target market? So our target market includes skilled workers, technicians, carpenters, plumbers, painters, for now. Then we also have vendors. Vendors in sense, we have vendors for maybe clothing line, shoes, and even building materials, even plumbing materials. And so even our technicians too on the platform, when they are assigned to a customer, they might not actually need to start going out to start looking for those things. They can equally buy it on the platform. The customer can also purchase it on the platform, on his or her own. Then we are also producing it for our end users, of course, our customers, so they can be able to access vendors and artisans, on the platform. So what is the market problem? What exactly are we trying to solve by producing this product? So one of the market problem we looked at was the limited access to a wide range of customer base. Some artisans don't, because we did a survey out. When we go down, we'll talk about the survey, and we'll find out that there are some artisans that actually don't have jobs like that. There are a lot of electricians that would need referrals, and let's say in a month they might have 2 to 3 jobs just in a month, which is actually not enough. So we want to create a platform where they can easily access as much customers as they can, and people would actually see them. They will be visible to their audience. Then there's a difficulty in accessing artisans in new areas. So let's say if a customer has moved to a new area, or maybe just moved his accommodation to a new area, you would want to do some kind of renovation where he is or where she is, and looking for artisans and people that can actually provide that service is actually difficult most times. Then lack of visibility. Of course, we want artisans and vendors to be noticeable by their audience and their public. There are limitations in marketing and promotional opportunities. So some artisans and some vendors, don't actually, their marketing strategy or their promotional opportunities are usually very low, and they don't actually know how to go about. So we help them we actually create an awareness for them of services they actually give and the products they have to sell. So what are we offering? Our key offering, the main features of our product, main advantages our product will be given is there will be a search and a filter. So customers can be able to search for their service providers or their vendors within their location. So in our search for functionality and filter, they'll be able to see the vendor or artisan's location, the expertise. They can also search for price range. They can also search for customer rating and availability. Then the next thing there is portfolio. Sorry. The next thing there is portfolio and profile. So we have on our platform, we also offer a page where artisans and vendors can actually showcase what their expertise, can showcase their products, their portfolios, and just basically their workspace, where customers can be able to see what they have to offer. Then our marketing promotional tool, verification mechanism, communication and collaboration tool. This communication is like a cell where you can easily communicate with artisans, where customers can easily communicate with artisans and vendors, and exchange. So where they can actually talk and discuss on how they can actually go on with any transaction and all. Then we have the feedback rating system and the customer support in the key offering. Then what are our key benefits? Our key benefits, one of them is customers are able to access a wide range of artisans close to their location, basically. Then small scale artisans and vendors can easily be noticed and visible to their audience. Then communication and collaboration, where it's easy and seamless for customers to be able to communicate with artisans and vendors on the platform, for the service they need or the product they need. Marketing and promotional interface is actually where we can add that. Actually, we are expertise of artisans and products of vendors are being promoted and advertised. Then we have the feedback rating system where customers would give feedback and ratings that would use to grade artisans' performance or vendors' performance on the platform. Then we're also providing a vetting and verified service provider system where we can vet vendor. We can also vet and verify the artisans. Then the next thing there is our analysis. So when we carried out a survey, we asked several questions. Well, of course, we asked, how do you get customers? Most people most artisans and vendors get customers from referrals. About 85% of them, 30% from social media, 25% from word of mouth. Then advertising just 15%. Then we also asked them that, would you like a platform that connects you directly with customers? And about 85.7% of them said yes. Then maybe was 14.3%. Then the next part is, would you? So when you have the platform, I think the next thing there on the survey was supposed to be would you like to use the platform? And 52.4% said on the rate of 1 to 5, he said yeah. Then on rate of 1 to 4, we have 14.3% for 4 and 5 and 3, 43.8%. Then would you mind paying, subscribing to access the platform as a customer? Sorry, yes, platform. Sorry, I'm having small glitches. Sorry, on my own part. Okay, sorry. Sorry, can everyone see my screen? I just want to be clear because I think I'm having glitches on my part. I don't know that.
Yes, we can see the screen.
Okay.
Yeah, we can see.
Okay. So would you mind paying to access the platform where you can connect with customers? Most of them, for subscription, most of them said 57.1% said yes. Then maybe was at a 3.3%. Then the rest of them said no, 9.5%. So instead of subscribing, would you prefer charges deducted from your payment for completing a service? 52.4% said yes, 28.6% said no, and 19% said maybe. So we are basically going to work according to our survey and data here as we go down our presentation. So our competitor analysis, our competitors, we had to compare products and services, marketing strategies, pricing and cost distribution channels with our competitors. We had Workman app, we had Eden Live, and we had Bookings Africa on our competitive analysis. Then our business model. What is our business model canvas going to look like? So we have key partners. Majorly our key partners are artisans, customers, artisans and vendors, customers, social media platforms, the Business Trade and Skilled Workers Association for artisans, the marketing and advertising companies, e-commerce platform, and delivery service companies with payment gateway providers. So our channels would include social media marketing, content marketing, that's our marketing channels, email marketing, search engine optimization, and so on and so forth. So what are our key activities? Majorly, we want to create awareness, since it will sensitize artisans, people, because we understand that there are some artisans that might not have access or means of onboarding on the platform. So we would want to create a form of awareness, sensitize them, even if we need to onboard them on ground, while we are having a kind of sensitization program with them. Then we have customer and vendor onboarding, products, service listing, marketing promotion, search discovery, and so on and so forth. What are our key resources? Our key resources: inbuilt onboarding and vetting system for artisans and vendors, front-end engineers, back-end engineers, API providers, mobile app developers, and customer support providers. Our value proposition, our value proposition is we want to create, our value proposition is we want to create a means to access, we want to create a means where customers can be able to access vendors and of course, and access a wide range of customers for actually vendors and artisans. Increase visibility of potential customers, convenient and time saving. That means we actually want to make it convenient for customers to easily access their desired service providers. And we also want to build trust and reliability by vetting vendors and artisans. And we also want to personalize the platform too. So what is our cost? So our cost mainly be on the development and maintenance of the platform, and technology infrastructure, marketing, promotions, vendor and artisan acquisition, and legal compliance requirements. That means we would need, if there are needs for starting licensing or tax or taxing, it would be in our legal and compliance requirements. So how do we want to generate revenue? We want to generate revenue through transaction service charge fee made by customer. So we don't want anyone to subscribe. From our survey, we see people who don't prefer to subscribe. So instead, customers would actually pay service charge fee for every transaction they make on the platform. The commissions will be taken from every product that is being bought on the platform, and every paid service is rendered by a service provider on the platform. On our way, we can also make revenue is collaboration and promotion with third-party companies that actually have facilities to carry on to provide these services on the platform. So what's our marketing strategy going to look like? And where are we going to start from our market demography? Our marketing strategy basically would be indulging in live events, sensitization, educating people on how to use the platform, and also onboarding people that don't have the means, to onboard on the platform. We're also looking at online ads, advertising on social media platforms, email and Google ads, affiliate referral programs where we can be able to give some kind of benefits and rewards from affiliate and referral programs, partnership and collaboration with certain facility companies, of course, traditional ads, billboard ads, television ads, and all that's for our market strategy. Now, our market demography, so we are centered at Lagos Island, just majorly at the Marina to VI to Ikoyi, Lekki, and Ajah to the area. Then the Lagos mainland, we're looking at Ikeja, Maryland, Ketu, Magodo, Bagada, Yaba, and Obalinde, just places that are actually connected to each other and to be easy for artisans, to be able to move if they are not too far away, so they can be able to access our customers. Yes, so I think I would pass the mic on to Blessing to continue and round up with our presentation. Blessing, are you on?
Yes.
All right. Thank you. Should I leave this? Do you want to share your screen or should I continue with mine?
Yes, you can continue with yours.
All right. Go on, Blessing.
Okay, so the next thing we'll be talking about is going to be with regards to the user personnel. And for our user, we have a young lady of about 29 years of age, and she is working as a market specialist remotely. Now, the issue she has is that due to her work, she really has the time. So she has issues with having access to skilled workers to help her deliver, to help her do some jobs within her house, like carpentry and electric wiring and the rest. So she feels frustrated at times because she doesn't have the time to do all of those things. So as an individual, Julia Benson has an introvert personality, and she's passive, she's creative, she's active, and also Julia's goal is to spend less time on scanning for vendors online. So she needs a specific application or website where she actually could go, and then whatever she needs to have somebody do the job, she picks an order and the person comes in and does the job. And that's why she has to narrow her options very quickly. Her frustrations are that she's unable to find vendors because some of them are not trusted. They don't keep to their words. She spends too much time searching. So she wants to skip that part and have a reliable source so she can do all of those things. So also we have the vendor personnel, another user personnel, which is the vendor aspect of it, and the artisan. But for the vendor, his name is David James. He's 27 years of age. Now we're looking at a number of vendors. We have people that have products like shoes and all that. Like for James David, he sells shoes and he has been making less sales. So it's frustrating when you have a business and you can't make enough sales. But he is now looking for a platform where he can, have a specific audience or a larger audience so that he can sell his business properly. And what he actually sells is shoes. And it can be frustrating if you are actually running on a product, you're working, making sales, but you're not seeing anything coming out of it. We don't want to limit it to only people that sell shoes and clothes and the rest. We also want to work with people who sell items like tools. We have people that sell electrical parts and people that sell carpentry tools and all of that come in here to also do their stuff. So for this particular user, this particular vendor, he wants to stay creative with his motivations. He's passionate about his business. He wants to have financial stability, and he uses social media platforms like Instagram, Facebook, and all of that a lot. So having this kind of exposure will help him to be able to, get what he's looking for. And coming to an application like this will, help him to be more expanded in his business. And we also have the artisan personnel of a young man too, who is a skilled worker, but he himself needs more time. He needs more audience as well with regards to his skill. And can you go to the user personnel for artisan? Okay, so we have this man here. His name is Mustafa Ahmed. He's 38 years of age. He's a handyman. He has kids, but he also has an issue with having more audience for his business. And so someone like this will need an app like TryMe to boost his business. His goal is for him to want to make use of his skill, and he wants his skill to be recognized. He wants to reach a wider range of customers, and he wants to meet, his annual financial target. He feels frustrated at times. He's not satisfied with his customers' reach and all of that. So that's it for the user personnel. We want to look at the wireframe. We've arranged this in such a way that it will enable everybody that is going to use the app to know how they're going. So the first aspect is the onboarding. So where the user would have to add their names and their emails, their location and their status, whether they are actually they are customers, users, or they are vendors or artisans, then the password. And then when they're done with that, they go to the next page, which would give a display of the customer's location. They can view the type of customers they are, their location, the service they want to get from the app. And when they are done with inputting those informations, they can also add their images. Then it takes them to the home page. Then from the home page, they have access to for the artisans. The homepage has access to where the artisans can view their own profile as well and display their their goods, their services, what they offer. And it also gives us access to where the vendors who can view the same thing about himself, his wallet balance, his location, his profile, actually the customer's profile data in general, whether you're an artisan or you are a vendor. The next slide would be where sorry, I wasn't done with the wireframe, sorry. So the next page on the wireframe is where there is a communication line now between where the customers can go, search for their items, chat with the customer service, or call, where there is a connection between the artisan and the user or the vendor, whichever communication line that there is going to be emerging between all of them. And when once the business is completed, there is a platform, which is the next one for payment, the rating of the artisans, confirmation of invoices, and that ends the business. So after the wireframing, the features that we'll be having in this product is that, first off, we're going to have a very beautiful user-friendly interface that enables customers to have their way around the product. And also there's going to be an overview. Everybody can view everybody's profile so that you know who is going to come and work for you, and the type of person this person is, and all that. Whoever is matched with, whichever vendor is matched with another customer, or where the person is coming from and all that, can be viewed by either party. And also file uploading features that we mentioned also in the wireframe, where vendors and artisans can display what they have to offer to a particular customer. We have the dashboard display to where customers will see different type of products that we are offering. The communication cell, which makes it easy for a customer and an artisan to come together, or if a customer should have any complaints, can also reach out to us. We also have a search function that enables the customer to individually search for an item or whatever services he wants to get from us, instead of going through a long list of options one after the other. He can just search for a specific thing that he wants. And probably fast forward to the booking aspects, where they can book for an appointment with an artisan, and then they pay the artisan through the app after a transaction is completed. Now, for the MVP, in the aspect of the artisan and vendor, we have the onboarding, the registration and profile, the product and services showcasing. We have notification alerts where they get notified that they've been selected or they've been matched with a particular customer because of their location. We have review and rating features, analysis and metrics as well with regards to the progress that they've made so far. They can also.
Hi, Blessing. Sorry to interrupt you. So far, you guys have spent about 7 minutes extra on this presentation. So you might need to wrap up already, so that the timing doesn't drop. So please wrap up your presentation. Thank you.
So by summary, we have the MVP already in place. So we have features for the vendors and also for the customer. Then we'll go to the next slide, which is a roadmap. On our first quarter, we intend to include features like the onboarding screen feature for both artisans, customer profile listing, and then search features functionalities. Then for the second quarter, which is going to take a span of a week or two for us to add more features, because we already have them ready, and we will have the ordering and check-in. Then everything should be ready within a month or maximum of 2 months. Then the success metrics is our ease of engagement, which has to do with the flow. The more efficient the app is, the product, the more reliable it is, the more customers will have, and the more success we'll have. When customers are onboarded, the ease of onboarding will be also a determining factor with regards to whether customers will fizzle out or just back out in the process of registration and everything. So that too is our metrics. And then, sorry, Adara, can you just quickly go back to me? Yeah, so for the other success part, it's going to be the revenue aspect of it. So we want to create many avenues to see how we can increase our revenues and the rest. So the next slide is going to be the pricing. So we have the registration onboarding. For the artisan, they have to pay 2,000 naira per registration, and that's going to be for a year. And then we have the 5% charge on commissions from customers, because customers are not paying for registration. So for the services that we're rendering, we charge them 5% of whatever negotiations they may have with the artisan. And the commissions fee from service providers and the product purchase on our platform too, from the vendors, will also be at 5%. 5%. So that takes us to the next slide of how we intend to utilize the $100,000 investment. So we have we are going to have to pay for the product development. We are going to we'll pay for the maintenance. So we are paying the software development, purchase of APIs and infrastructure setups and all that. Then we'll also pay for adverts, marketing and promotions. We would also pay for the requirements that is needed to make that product a legal product by the government. So for the licensing, the tax and everything. Then we also have to pay our vendors and the artisans acquisition. We will pay our employees, customer service, and the rest of back office staff. And then we will have also work on the miscellaneous and the rest of the others. So in conclusion, the essence of this Try Me product is to promote small businesses, encourage innovations, and facilitate meaningful interactions and engagement between customers, vendors, and artisans. You are in business of empowering vendors and artisans, delighting customers with distinctive goods, and assisting artisans who don't have the opportunity to expand their services sustainably. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Team Colossus. Thank you, Adara. Thank you, Blessing. And thank you to the team members as well. Although you went past the time, like you spent 10 minutes.
Yeah, so sorry. So sorry.
Okay, so we're just going to go right into would let our panelists talk, give their feedback on the presentation. Promise Mutaya Chuma. If anybody can.
Hi.
I promise.
Yeah, hi. Good morning once again. All right, great presentation there. So I just want to ask about the execution. I think I took note of you saying that everything will be finished between 1 to 2 months. Please walk me through the resources that you would need for development and how you intend to build everything in 1 or 2 months.
Okay, so
sorry, please can you go over the question again so that we can be able to answer you appropriately? I don't know if you don't mind. Thank you.
All right. So when it came to I think the roadmap, you mentioned the entire development will be done in 1 or 2 months. So the first question is, what resources would you need to pull off development of your product? And then how you intend to build everything in 1 or 2 months?
Okay, so basically what hinders the progress of a product is financing. So right now there is supposedly money on ground. So we can start with, and there's an idea already on ground. So with the financing and the idea, it is easier to recruit or contract developers, designers that will work on the already existed idea and the plan that is on ground. So you give them a time frame that this is what you want. The designers can do the design, because we're trying to make it as simple as we're trying to make the interfaces and the navigations as simple as what users can make use of. So we don't need some sort of an extravagant or
Sorry.
enormous.
So it's a very direct question. First of all, are you contracting it? You mentioned contract now. So are you contracting the work out, or are you bringing in-house developers? If you were, how many would you take you to pull off what you need to pull off, both designer and everything?
Okay, we don't need to employ everybody. Some persons are better contracted. So if we are trying to work on stuff like this, we can employ designers and then we contract developers. So back-end developer, 2 back-end developers, 2 front-end developers can do the job. And then we have just 1 designer. So we give the wireframe to the designer and he does the designing. And that's the key thing. Then while they are doing their job, we go out to do the markets, the scouting for the vacancies for artisans and vendors. While the back-end work is still done, we can get an office space in the process, which with the finance on ground, it shouldn't take us a while to do all of those things. So we run these tasks simultaneously, make it easier for us to do those things within the shortest possible period of time.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Did that be all from you, Promise?
Yeah, for now, someone else can go.
All right, okay. Chioma.
Okay, thank you, Team Colossus. But I have to note that Odera, you didn't turn on your video. We didn't see you when you were presenting.
I'm so sorry. I have an issue with my camera. I'm so sorry. I have an issue with my system camera.
All right. You didn't mention the sample size for your survey. How many?
Okay, no. Okay. So the thing is, I personally had to send, okay. Yeah, okay. My teammate, Aisha, sent survey out. Even, in fact, the rest of my teams, all of us, we all sent Aisha, Choice, Priscilla, Blessing, we all sent surveys out, to artisans. I know some artisans in my area. I actually helped them answer the questions, and all. So we out of everything. I know it's not enough number, but we had about 21 responses out of everything. It's actually not enough number. We know that, but we just wanted to just carry out maybe a rough sketch of what people might think, about the platform. Yeah, so just 21 responses. I know it's actually not enough data. Yeah.
Okay. So what was like the spread for the responses? Was it just artisans? And if it's just artisans?
No, we did artisans, vendors. We had a lot of makeup artists. We had people that would sell lotions, like cream lotions. Some people that would sell shoes, bags. Then we also had, I had from my own side, I met our estate electrician and the plumber, and I also interviewed them and helped them fill the survey on my own part. But I know when we sent it out, there's a paint I have on my group too. I also sent it to him. We outsourced the survey to so many other places too. But on the list, on our Google form, I don't think we were able to see the parts where people we're able to see we're able to examine each other's parts, whether this person is but for my own side of it, I know, these are people I met, but I'm very sure that as we sent it out, on our WhatsApp group, our Instagram groups and co, we were able to get feedback from artisans, just the both parties. Yeah.
Okay. Your product seems to be playing in two spaces, like it's a mix of artisans and vendors. I'd like to know why you're not focusing.
Okay, so the thing is,
I'm sorry. I think
okay.
sorry. I think so that we can have a spread. Hi. Good morning. We agreed that we would all take questions collectively so that we will not have some certain set of people answering a lot of questions. So I just quickly want to speak to this as to why we have both vendors and why we have both vendors and artisans. So our app basically is targeting skilled workers and basically entrepreneurs. So we want people who do not have a 9-to-5 to have a platform where they can, showcase their products and showcase their skills as well. So if we are basically focusing on just artisans, we are just talking about skilled workers. But then if we are saying both artisans and vendors, it also means that if I'm in my house and then I really don't want to go out and go to the market to buy a bag or a shoe, I can have access to a vendor who retails these products, and then I could just check it out and then make an order or make a purchase. So it's more like giving entrepreneurs a platform where they could connect to end users without the hassle of buying a shop or any logistical requirements that might come from it. I don't know if I was able to answer your question.
Yes, you did, but it now brings another question to mind because
okay,
when the team was presenting, you mentioned Lagos being like the target market, the island.
okay.
So this for the vendors now, you're kind of restricting them then, because like, are you saying that you're going to only feature vendors who are in that vicinity? Their products cannot, or you can't put vendors from other states on your platform? And
okay, okay, so you can go on. Sorry, you can go on. I'm sorry, I thought you were done.
No, go ahead.
Okay, so I think that in itself is not exactly an accurate information. We apologize for that. But basically, when we had this, when we were discussing this project and when we were doing our findings, we found out that it is more easier to start with a Lagos market due to population, accessibility, and all other things that might make it easier, basically. So while we want to also feature vendors and artisans from other locations, our primary market is to start with the Lagos market, because it is so widely believed that if things work in Lagos, they can work in any other state. So stating Lagos is not limiting it to just the Lagos market. We're actually saying that would be our primary start point. And then from there, we extend based on how we see success and based on some of the lessons and experiences we learn from the market. I don't know if that answers your question.
Well, you have to be careful about that saying that what happens in Lagos, how diverse Nigeria is. Yes, okay. So let's be careful about that. Okay, so yes, you mentioned, no problem. I saw that 5% commission or 5% is I saw 5% somewhere in your pricing.
Yeah, yes. So, let me just take you. Yeah.
How is that going to be profitable? Considering all the other costs, like considering the development, even though you have to get this imaginary phone we're talking about here, but considering development costs, operational costs, marketing, this 5% charge.
Yeah. So
sorry, yeah. Hold on. Odira, please, I want to understand this question. I want to understand your question. Are you saying that the 5% is too small or is too much?
I'm asking, actually, how is this going to be profitable based on development costs, operational costs, marketing your products? Because I'm going to use this to assess your business model. So you're saying 5% that is the charge. So how is that going to be profitable?
Okay, Ojira, you can proceed.
Okay. I think we discussed Blessing. Is Blessing on the call? Blessing.
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, exactly. So we had Blessing, please go on. I think this question we can be able to.
Okay, so we had actually considered this 5% charge on the service, but we don't want things that will bug the customer. I mean, if I were a customer and I realize that you are charging me for a service that I am paying for, you are charging me extra, I don't think I would be so interested in doing it. So we are trying to see how we can, we don't want to make it too much on the customer still, because that is not our only source of income. We have other sources of income. So this is just like an extra source of income. So we don't want to, in as much as the customer is, we are trying to do a customer a favor, they're also doing us a favor, and then we don't want to make it too much on them. So we base it at 5%. Now this 5% is for, sorry?
Sorry. So what's your main source of income?
On the registration and the commissions fee from, we're also charging another 5% for every transaction completed on the platform. And then this other 5% too. And we also would open ways for running
collaboration, yes,
and market promotions for other third-party institutions, organizations that would work with us, and all of that, other ways as well. But for this particular one, because it is coming from the customer's pocket, we don't want them to feel it, because if they feel it, we would be losing customers without even knowing. So if we are charging them 5%, it is also not a rigid arrangement. It is subject to a readjustment depending on the economy situation at a particular time. And we relate that information clearly to the customer that we're charging them this. Still, while we are charging the 5%, we might not also rub it on their face that we are charging them this amount. So if I am requesting for a service of 2,000 naira and I'm requesting for 5, and the company is requesting for 5% from me, that's about 100 naira. It's not something I can feel. Though it is money, but I might not feel it that much. If I should charge 100 naira times 20,000 people, that's a lot of money already. So we don't want to make it look like we are robbing a customer or we are extorting from a customer. That's what we're going to say, that an amount they won't feel when it is taken out of their pocket.
Yeah, and sorry if I may add, another thing is we actually, this is not actually limited to, sorry, this is not actually going to be constant. Of course, it's like a variable, it can change. And for now, we want to just fit into the market. We want to just fit into the market. So when we create value, when people now see value, then we'll now actually start changing. If there are things we to add or things we have to increase, would increase. So we just want to create value and fit into the market for the time being. Yeah.
Good responses, guys. We're out of time. But I'll just quickly say that consider this thing you also said about, I know market penetration, you want to fit into the market, but you also have to be careful that you don't put a price that's too low, and then when you see the realities and want to change it, you end up like customers leave because like, this thing was cheap before. You know that users, that's
yes
how it goes. Be careful about that. Also consider your retention strategy, like how are you going to keep people on this platform? Because when you give me an artist and I establish contact with that person, why do I have to come back to your platform to use it? And then also look at the metrics that you put in your presentation. They're not really measurable. Most of them are just text. You need to be able to measure the metrics. Well done, guys.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so
much. Thank you for the
Jim.
feedback.
Thank you so much for the feedback. Thank you, everyone.
All right. So before we, although the time is up for the feedback, Omotayo has not spoken. I saw promise Promise raised up her hand for some minutes. So I don't know if she has any questions or any feedback to give. Then in 5 minutes, I also just want to go through, we have some questions in the chat, so we can quickly go through them. So if we can't answer any of these questions, please, let's not waste time. Let's just go directly to like the answer. So I'm just quickly going to go through these questions, then give chance to Omotayo and Promise to give their feedback or ask their questions. So there's a question from Nengi. Nengi is asking that what's your plan of inclusion for local artisans who do not have access to the internet?
Okay, so just like we said, we would be conducting live events. We'll be conducting live events, and we want to onboard. We might need to onboard them there and just take them through the process. So aside doing everything online, we can also promote what they have to offer, put their contacts on the their contacts on the platform where customers can easily call them or put a call through to them. So that's why we said we're going to do live events and sensitize them, educate them on how the platform works and why they need to be on the platform. Yeah. So I don't know.
Okay,
if
so
that
let me just expatiate on what Odera just said.
Priscilla, you need to make that as quick as possible. I'm sorry to interrupt you because there is no time.
Yes, no problem. It's fine. I just, because it's a very important question, that's why I want to address it. So we know that in the artisan market, there are many artisans like carpenters and plumbers who don't have access to the internet, who don't have Android phones. So whilst for now, our major focus are people who have at least a basic Android phone to be able to access the internet, we are also not turning our backs on people who don't have access to the internet. So our long-term plan is that we plan to include them by like adding all their contacts on a dashboard. Now, from this dashboard, we are telling customers that if you want skilled workers that are not tech savvy or internet savvy, this is it's sort of like a talent pool or an artisan pool thereabouts. So we are saying these are the artisan pool, and then we can give you personal testimonies to their work, because you can't interact with them directly to be able to know how legit they are and how verifiable they are. But we are saying that, okay, based on our own observation and based on their registration with us, this is how we are sure that they can do the work. So if you want to engage them, we can share you their numbers, we can connect you with them, and you can have interactions. But this is more like a long-term goal. It's not structured at the moment, but we have them in mind. For now, we are basically focusing on people who have a basic Android phone that can access the internet to be able to have access to our website or our app. I hope that answers your question, Nengi.
All right, thank you. So there's another question from Shio Ibrahim, but I'm going to repost the question so you can answer the question in the chat because we are running out of time. So please, Promise and Omotayo, please, can we go ahead with our feedback?
Yeah, so I feel like my questions have pretty much been answered throughout. I had concerns with retention of the artisans, because if you're location based and I've used an electrician, what's stopping me from putting your app the second time I need an electrician? Also, my other question was with artisans that did not have smartphones, and I think that has been answered. I had the third one. I cannot remember, but yeah, good job, guys. I think I don't want to take too much of our time since most of them.
Thank you so much, Omotayo.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the feedbacks, everyone. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Promise, so that I know that your hand was up at the time. So I don't know if any question you had has been answered, so that we can just proceed. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, Team Colossus. Please, let's take this feedback. Let's take these questions that have been answered. Let's try to we can rework on what we already have. Thank you so much. So I'm just going to run straight into sharing my screen again so that we know the next team to make their presentation. In as much as I want us to have a short break between, I still want us to run ahead. I know that some of us already have things planned for today, and we don't want to take so much of our time. So this time that we're using to spin the wheel, if you need to drink water, if you need to stand up to stretch, you can do that. Let's make sure that we remember that each team has 15 minutes. And so far, no team has been able to keep to keep to the time that has been given to each team. So please, let's make sure that we keep to the time. We have just 2 teams left, Team Artemis and Team Olympia. So please, you might want to beat the timing that has been given. I'm going to be spinning the wheel now. I think that we should be able to see my screen right now. If you can't see my screen, please let me know in the chat section. So right about now, spin the wheel. Who is going to be our next presenter? Okay, Team Olympia. Oh, we have here. Good morning. It's good to have you. Demola, are we ready for me? Are we ready?
Yeah, sure. We're ready. Good morning, Adiola.
Okay.
Good morning, everybody.
Hi, good morning. Please go ahead. You can share your screen and you can start your presentation already.
Okay. Okay, just to confirm, can everyone see my screen?
Yes, and try to make your screen, presenter view. Yeah.
Okay.
You can go, please.
Hold on, I'm just setting up. Right now, good morning, everybody. My name is Ademola Ayodele. I'm presenting on behalf of Team Olympia. Please, if there's just disclaimer, if at any point in time I see off, I'm notorious for not speaking loudly. So if there's any point where you don't hear me or I see off, please let me know so that I can pick up. But once
your
again,
video is not on. You might want to check that as well.
Apologies. Yeah. All right. Are we good now?
Yeah.
Great. Once again, morning everyone. My name is Ademola Ayodele. I'm presenting on behalf of Team Olympia. So So about 2 years ago, I was house hunting. Still about 2 years ago, I was house hunting, and I thought it was going to be a short process. I pretty much didn't. I didn't think it was going to last more than a month, but it eventually lasted about 7 months. Right, and this is 7 months of constantly going on tours, constantly checking out places, and not being able to successfully close a deal because either the houses don't match up to what I need or they don't match up to the photographs that were used to publicize there. And well, one thing or another, or they were in bad locations. They were just terrible. And the process that was supposed to be, that I thought was going to be short, ended up being a 7-month long process, costing me money and, well, evidently time. So it was no surprise actually when we conducted our market research to understand the pain points of renters today. We realized that a lot of renters are still undergoing, a majority of our respondents rather are still undergoing the same thing that I went through. And I think it's something that's very relatable. Anyone here who has actually tried to get an apartment in Lagos probably can testify that it's a grueling process, unnecessarily so. So most of our respondents indicated that they searched for 3 or more months. Majority of our respondents as well also indicated that they spent a lot of money in the process of searching for a house, which was not even in the budget of their house hunting in the first place. Like, everyone has the rent in their mind, but no one actually plans for the cost of looking for an apartment, right? Which is significant. So while my team was going to it and trying to develop solutions, we devised a plan that
One, we identified that yes, a big problem is the cost of housing. It's rising and doesn't look like it's going to come down anytime soon. And it's down to the cost of construction and declining purchasing power of people. But again, also a big problem that was identified in our market research was, like I mentioned, the increasing cost of searching. That thing is something that is heavily overlooked. So we devised a solution, or proposing a solution, a real estate service that connects renters to property owners, with primary purpose of minimizing the temporal, the time cost, and financial cost associated with house hunting by providing navigable 3D images that would aid the decision-making process of renters, and also provide an enthusiastic market for property owners. So we're looking at the demand side, which is the renters, and the supply side, which is property owners. We are targeting the landlords and housing agents. We're grouping them into one, property owners. So if I say property owners going forward, I'm talking about landlords and housing agents, because housing agents are representatives of landlords. So we are targeting that audience. We're also targeting workers within each bracket, so 2 to 5, targeting middle to high income earners, and those that this matters to the most. People, renters who are time constrained, who don't actually have the time to invest into searching for an apartment. Our aim is to revolutionize the home search experience by providing a cutting-edge housing app that seamlessly integrates virtual viewings and personality matching. And our mission is to ensure that we make the housing process as effortless as possible to reduce the strain that it takes on people's finances and on their psyche, essentially. We understand that we're not going to build markets. There are other players currently in the market. For example, Speed is doing incredibly well. Property Pro for the long term, they're doing well as well. But none of them are looking in the direction they are not providing what we aim to provide, right? They are still very reliant on 2D images, on just regular photographs, as high quality as possible for transcripts. They're still regular 2D images, but they don't feed that psychological need for users to get a feel of the space they want to live in. Right, which is why we are proposing 3D images that are navigable. You can take virtual tours on your phone or your devices. Basically, they're going to be as real as possible to life. So it feels like you've actually been there before. You can make your decision quicker. The real estate market in Nigeria now is valued at about $21 billion. The prop tech industry is valued at about $9 billion. We are targeting 5% of that available market, or accessible available market. So we are aiming at $450 million from the market, aiming to capture at least 5% of the market in the long run. So we've identified key partners that will need to make our solution work. 3D imaging and virtual tour companies, which are existing already, landlord association, agents and developers associations, which we need to partner with to feed into our demand side, payment processors to facilitate the entire process, because we all know that money owns the machine. Our customer segments, like I talked about earlier, property owners and renters. We are focusing primarily on mobile app, on the mobile app now, and when we have a proof of concept, then we can now expand to websites and every other channel that is there. Our key resources are going to be developers and designers, virtual tours and 3D imaging APIs, and machine learning for personality matching. So I'll speak on personality matching shortly, but let me just go to our value proposition. So what we are proposing, what we intend to bring to the user to ease their pain. Want the convenience of the fact that you don't need to actually make physical viewings. can just do them all, and they work better than 2D images. They work better than just photographs because photos are regular. But with 3D images, you get a better feel of the place that you want to rent. So if you now choose to make a physical viewing, you have funneled your search process into, it's not as expansive anymore. You don't need to check 5-6 places to make a decision. You can just physically rather to make a decision. You can just do that in comfort or wherever you are and make a better decision basically and reduce the cost of having to check multiple places. I think I've touched on convenience. Navigable 3D images that I talked about. They will provide an immersive and realistic experience, like I said, to feed that psychological need for you to know that you're going to be comfortable in the space when you check it out. Options expansion and search efficiency. Like I said, the solution is going to make the house search rather more efficient because you can check more places in less time and you have more options basically. So for personality matching, we intend to have machine learning that would take personal data, say maybe date of birth, or it's also monitor user behavior app. So if to check to take data on kinds of property that you're searching for and match you with other people that are searching for that same category of property as well. So if you're looking to share apartments, you want to reduce because it's a means to reduce the cost of rent, right? So if you want to share apartments, you want someone to share this with, you can be matched on the app or in the app rather. Like I said, it talks about cost reduction. I've talked about cost reduction as well. So cost reduction is not just time or money; it's also about the physical and psychological cost that you incur rather when you're making multiple journeys. So we read of that. And for the demand side, 3D images make for better marketing potential of the property than regular photographs, which sometimes are good, some mostly are terrible. And also would have an audience for property owners to actually market to and get more prospects, right? So they have more people to actually market their property to. We are designing for two personas. So we're designing for Maria, who is tech savvy, she's 30/30 plus, but has little time to inspect apartments, right? So we are, and our pain points are basically at the time and money spent traveling from one prospective apartment to another. Agents misrepresent the apartment states and quality of finishing in photographs, because yes, photographs can be deceiving, but 3D photographs are less deceiving because you can monitor them. I mean, sorry, I said monitor. You can view them granularly, you can actually inspect, but all in the comfort of your home, you can navigate through them. So his story is she wants to view prospective houses remotely so that she can have more choices and reduce the cost of multiple physical visits. She wants to navigate 3D images of prospective properties so that her choices are better informed, and she wants to be matched with property renters who suit her personality as well. For Mr. Taiwo, this is demand side, this is the renter. His age and his responsibilities make it difficult for him to actually take renters on multiple viewings. So he wants to be able to manage his property on a user-friendly online platform that limits the physical demand of his livelihood, and he wants to give prospective renters virtual tours of his properties so that it can delight them and spur interest. So we have wireframed the key action in the MVP here. So the wireframe you're looking at now is the onboarding process, the sign up, sign in, profile creation, that's pretty much activation, and then the renter gets to search for apartments, take a 3D view, and then indicate interest in the apartments, which the property owner can then respond to. For the property owner side, we also wireframe the onboarding process, and then the process of creating a listing where the renter rather puts in the details of the apartment, takes 3D shots with the in-app guidance system, and then uploads it essentially creates a listing, which is one of the key actions that we're monitoring. So for a roadmap, we intend, because this is something that, to be fair, it might be a low-hanging fruit because it's something that people should be doing. It's crazy that it's not out there already because it's already active in the UK. But we aim to have this, to have our MVP ready in quarter. And yeah, we aim to have it ready in quarter. We'll be monitoring the performance of our products by acquisitions defined by app installs progressing to sign-ups completed per month, by engagement. We'll be monitoring retention as well. So retention will be essentially tracking property owners, and then good churn, tracking renters, because we expect renters to leave. We expect good churn on that aspect. But we'll also be looking out for bad churn as well, because it would be a good indicator of how our products are performing. But our North Star metric is going to be monthly active users as defined here. A number of users with 4 more key actions performed in a month. The key actions that we'll be using to track our performance: profile creation, property search, property view, virtual tools taken, profile matches accepted or declined, listing creations, payments, referrals. We'll be going to markets, right, and acquiring users. The first step with the buyer's journey is awareness. So we need to go on an aggressive marketing campaign via mass media and digital marketing channels. We also intend to do influencer marketing, bank on referrals, partnerships with field agents will be put on the ground that will liaise with landlords and developer associations to foster partnerships with them, and then expand our listings. And also the iterative process of getting user feedback and feeding to our user needs and making necessary enhancements to make our product better, and retain more and get more listings. One of my teammates will talk about pricing model, but if we do get the 100,000 that we're paying for, we have a budget, right? We have 60,000. We've budgeted for 6,000 expenditure already, conservatively. So we have 40,000 for runway for contingencies that we haven't planned for here. I think that brings me to the end of my presentation. Yes, this is my team, and thank you so much. I'm done. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. I think you kept to time, and that is good. That's a good one. So I'm going to move on to. We're done with your presentation. So we're going to move on to our panelists giving their feedback and asking the questions. So if you have any questions, you can drop it in the chat section so that Team Olympia can answer the questions. So passing the mic to Omotayo, please, if you can start with you.
Like, can you go back to, can you show your slide? I think there was a slide I had in mind.
Sure. Okay, what would you like to see?
Was there a place where you showed like your problem statement?
Yes, the beginning. So problem.
Yeah, yes.
And in italics, the increasing cost of searching, which is relevant to address.
I'm sorry, the increasing cost of what?
The increasing cost of searching for searching for residents.
I remember, like, I wanted to ask how your app was. First of all, good job, great presentation. You kept to time, so that's very good. So I wanted to ask how your app was going to work with the increasing cost of housing and rent and residential spaces, or the unpredictability of market players. Is it that you chose to not address those, or you're just addressing the increasing cost of searching?
Okay, so we are not, thank you. We are not providing housing, so we don't really have a say over the increasing cost of housing. But what we can provide is an avenue for renters to find or to be matched with other renters, and then they can share costs of housing between themselves.
Okay.
Which would reduce the cost individually.
What companies did you check out? Any competitors?
Yes, Split has sharing as well, and sharing as well.
Okay, so what's your own value proposition compared to their own value proposition?
All right, so thank you. But for the increasing cost of housing, that's a secondary consideration on our part. What we're primarily focusing on is the increasing cost of actually searching for an apartment, which is why our value proposition, right, is that we'll be providing virtual viewings, right, that would enable renters to to view apartments, right, realistically, and not just look at photographs. They can actually navigate. They can move from kitchen to living room to wherever it is that they want to move to. They can actually have that experience, but remotely, without having to actually visit the place.
Did you do any research that indicated that that would be sufficient for renters? Because from my own personal experience, I've been able to use products that have allowed virtual viewings, but I know that from my experience, personally, I don't think that's sufficient. So did you talk to people? Did you speak to people that are searching for houses and people that have searched for houses to say, do you think it's...
Yes, we did. While we're conducting our market research, when we identified that, okay, time and the cost required searching or invested rather in searching for housing is a problem that needs to be looked into. We asked if they would consider virtual viewings if they think that would ease their pain points, and yes, majority responded. I think I have, because I didn't want to have to load a presentation, so I just called from the data set, but 65%, sorry, 80% rather of respondents indicated an interest rather in virtual viewings. That yes, it's something that they actually like to see, that they think would ease their pain points. And also, virtual viewings have actually shown to generate 60% more interest in properties. So there's that as well. So it works both on the demand side, which is the renters, right? They want to, like I said, it didn't work for individually, but I have used it as well. I used it and it worked for me. So like I said, on the demand side, yes, 80% of our respondents said that they would like to see it, but also on the supply side, we can offer property owners 60% more interest in their properties, generate more leads for them. So I think that's a thing that could take off.
Okay. So the reason why I said that is, I don't think I saw, but you already explained that. Like I said, personally, I don't think it's sufficient because I'm very particular about nitty-gritty, and I don't think a number of those things can be seen virtually. And with housing, you're signing a contract and paying for a year, or signing a contract and paying for a whatever amount of time it is. It is I feel like it is, but again, I might be wrong. The data might prove me wrong. I feel like it is something that you might want to see in person, and that's the reason why.
Hi, Omotayo.
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you short. So the virtual viewing is not cutting out the physical viewing. The virtual viewing is to enable if you want to go to physical viewing, because there are sometimes you see some houses from pictures and then you go and it's something else. So this virtual viewing is to cut out that part so that when you do the virtual tour, you're able to know, okay, this is something I would want to see physically, and you can now book a physical appointment for further inspection.
Yeah, but I think it still does the same. It still does the same thing as the pictures, right? Because I can do a 3D virtual viewing and I get there and it's something different. The reason why the pictures will be different from what I see when I get there is because someone in that process is being dishonest. And I see something about someone saying no multiple charges and no commission. I don't know how you're going to manage that, saying as there are bodies that do this rental thingy in Nigeria. And okay.
But like sorry to play, but just like you mentioned, again, we're not looking to cut out the physical aspect of such.
Yeah, so my
like I said, it's a psychological need, but we are trying to funnel it to make it more tidy so that you don't have to take 10, 15, 20 viewings before you can decide on one. You can just, and because if you're going to take those viewings, it's going to cost you money. You're going to transport yourself and whatnot to get to those places.
I don't think
but you can do that.
I just want to round up quickly because I'm trying to be very conscious of the time. I don't think that really has been solved because number one, what you just introduced is another step, in my opinion, where I get to see it virtually, and then I now decide if I want to go. Most times, before I go and view a house, I would see pictures. I would have done a virtual viewing, at least I've done house search and I know how exhausting it can be. I would have done a virtual viewing and then from the virtual viewing decide. But the thing is that majority of the times, even pictures are enough for me to make a decision if I want to see the house. So that cost of transporting myself to the house is still there. Number two, I still need to pay, or you still need to pay agents because like I said, in renting and house management, there are agencies and there are laws and all of that guide those things. So I don't know how that is helping with the costs and with the time. But yeah, I think your app is great. I think the idea is great. Again, I'm trying not to take so much time. So if you can respond to this after this, I wouldn't speak again. But yeah, that's just my opinion and thoughts or questions.
Thank you. Thank you.
Omotola, can I say something, please?
Yeah, sure, definitely. Please go ahead.
Okay, so I understand your concern regarding the 3D virtual viewings and how it doesn't still cut off physical viewing. So first of all, we're not trying to cut off physical viewing completely, right? And before we decided to make use of the 3D virtual viewing as our USP, we did a research and we found out that statistics shows that it takes 25 viewings per property to sell a home. Sometimes it can even be less than that, right? So a virtual viewing is produced just once at the outset, right? Meaning it creates an online viewing ready property, which is available 24 hours a day. So for regarding the being trustworthy enough not to upload something else and they are saying something else, right? We are going to be deploying our field agents who will be the one to onboard these landlords, and then they will be the one to take these 3D pictures themselves and will be the one to be uploading the 3D, the 2D photos by ourselves. So it's about trust, right? We're going to be very trustworthy. We're not allowing the landlords to take pictures of maybe they'll upload a wrong picture, and then when the prospective renter goes to the apartment, they're saying something else. So we are the one deploying the agents to do this on our behalf.
Yeah, I hear you. I am still not fully I still have trust issues with that process because, you know, again, the reason why people have a problem with seeing pictures currently is just the fact that some people are not very honest in the pictures that they take. Because what exactly is the difference between me looking at pictures and saying, hey, I want to view this house, and me doing a virtual viewing? Are you saying like I'm going to be on video call with someone? Is that what you mean by
you don't necessarily? No, you don't necessarily have to be on
yeah.
video.
So it's still
we could include that. We could include that as a feature. Yeah, so, as a feature. But the point is, with photographs, you're looking from the outside, right? But with the navigable 3D pictures, it gives you a virtual experience inside the place.
I don't completely agree with that, but let's just move. I think I've used
That is
it.
fair, but it could be a personal bias.
Yeah, well, it could be, but you didn't show me data to prove that it's not. But okay, let's just move. Let's just move. I've used too much time.
Thank you.
All right. So now Promise. Okay, I will just proceed. Chioma, if you're ready, please you can unmute. So
hi guys. So great presentation, Team Olympia. Really like your slides. No offense to Team Giza and Colossus, but yeah, I really like your slides. They're pretty clean. I've just been listening to the exchange with you and Motayo. Basically, you guys are saying you want to take away the agents from the process and replace them with your own agents. Is that right?
No, field agents are just going to onboard. We can't do away with rental agents. They are like I said at the beginning of the presentation, they mostly represent landlords. So we actually expect that we're interfacing more with rental agents than landlords. But the field agents that are going to employ are going to be one for publicity. They will be going to the associations, right, to foster partnership, to develop partnerships with them, so that we have instead of going to agents one after the other, we can actually catch them as a group. And two, like Sophia described at the beginning, right, they would have agents that actually go out there and actually take these 3D images, right? And that process of taking it will actually help us develop our in-app guidance system, right? The data from the mistakes and whatnot, or the possible drawbacks from actually taking those images on site, right, would feed into how we develop our own in-app guidance system that actually guides the agents from scale, that actually guide the agents to how to take panoramic shots that actually work and that are as realistic as possible. Those can be manipulated. You can't Photoshop them. It's what is there that's going to be reviewed.
So those images.
So we're not replacing estate agents. No, they're actually a part of the pipeline that we need.
I'm just struggling to see where they fit in now, because you mentioned
the field agents or the rental agents.
The traditional agents, the agents that are currently the middlemen between property owners and renters.
Okay, so like I said,
are they going to be on your platform somehow? Are they going to create accounts on your platform, or is it going to be the landlords directly?
Okay, so again, like I mentioned, that we are grouping agents and landlords as one, because we expect that we're going to be interfacing. If you've house hunted in Lagos anyway, you would realize that you interface more agents than landlords. So they're part of the process that can be, right? And for the payments, I'll let one of my team members speak to that.
I want to say
we're not eliminating the points. We're not eliminating estate agents, right? They are the demand side, just as landlords are the demand side.
Okay, you done?
Yes, sure.
All right. So yes, I have house hunted in Lagos, and I understand the process. And even though the agents have their part to play, we still also have, in most cases, still have to interact with the landlord themselves. The agent has brought it, but doesn't mean the landlord will give you his or her house. So I just wanted to point out there, because it sounded like, oh, this platform is going to come and fast track that process. You as someone that's looking for a place to rent, just get it on this platform, look, and just make it faster. But I'm still struggling to see some bits of your platform. And also it seems like it's just focused on the person looking for the house, the renter. Did you survey agents? Did you speak to landlords? And
yes, I spoke to.
What are their thoughts with regards to using an app like this?
To be fair, they were fine with anything that will get them money, anything that will get them rentals.
Sorry?
They were fine with anything that will get them rentals. So when I explained the thought process, I explained that, okay, like even for you as an agent, you know how much hassle you have to make The renter calls you, you show them an apartment, and that renter calls you, you show them an apartment. You are moving all over the place, right? And a lot of these agents are not, I mean, they are young ones, but a lot of them are not so young. And we are also trying to reduce the physical requirements of their livelihood, right? So they bought into the idea. They saw that, okay, we can actually provide an avenue for renters to take virtual tours. It reduces their need to actually go out into the world to take renters on tours that most times they're actually used, because the renter can come at like an apartment and would say choose something else or not like the apartment. So in the end, it is stress for them as well. So what our solution does is reduces the need for them to actually go out to do those viewings, because the viewings can be taken care of remotely. So it is interest itself that they now get. So when the renter indicates interest, you know, like, okay, this person is more likely to want to pay because this person has seen this and has taken it all and is satisfied with what he's saying. So now he's indicating interest.
Okay, so
I hope that clears it.
I'll just move on. So the taking of the pictures by the field agents, is it a one-off? Or will it be done at, how do you refresh that data? Is it one, I take these pictures and that's how it is, even 2-3 years down the line?
It's pretty much for us to develop our proof of concept. Right. So at first, because again, we are working with mentally working with the persona of agents who are less tech savvy. Right. So we need to make and long run, we can't send out on scale, we can't be sending out field agents to go take photographs of every property. That's not plausible. So what we intend to do is to gather data, right, from our field agents when they actually got at the beginning stages, we're working on proof of concept stages, or working on proof of concept stage rather, that they can go out, actually take those photographs, see the drawbacks that are in there in taking 3D photography, because it's very different from it's not just taking shots, it's very different from taking 2D photographs. So we can see the drawbacks and then use that to feed our guidance, our in-app guidance system that will now enable agents who are less tech savvy to break it down, make it very granular, so that less tech savvy agents can actually, or will actually be able in the long term to take images themselves that are workable, that are actually very good and will create an immersive experience for the renters.
Okay, so as a property, sorry?
Can I say something? I would like to add to what Demola said.
Sure.
All right, so you mentioned the traditional landlords, right? And how and I just want to add that this is not cutting off agents, right? I've mentioned it before. So for the traditional landlords who they don't even have time to take renters on tours, they don't have time, maybe they're not even tech savvy, right? That is why we have the field agents. So as time goes on, we are going to come up with a feature that allows, not even a feature, right? Any prospective landlords can just hit us up that they would like to list one or two of their properties on our website. So we can just send any of our field agents to reach out to them and then onboard them on the website, and also help them to take the necessary pictures for us to turn it into 3D virtual viewings on our platform. And if it is like maybe someone that has been onboarded on our platform before, right? The landlord can just hit us up again, and then we can do the uploading of the 3D features, the taking of the pictures by ourselves. So they don't need to go through the stress of taking the pictures. Some of them might not even know how to do it. Some of them are not even that tech savvy. So that is why we have field agents who are ready to do this on their behalf.
And to buttress what she said, and to address a concern that you mentioned earlier about the fact that if you interact with agents, you are still likely going to interact with landlords. But I have worked with agents, and agents typically have power of attorney. What the landlord is interested in is the rent. Right? So it's the agents who actually have the process of screening tenants, who takes on that screening tenants, getting rent, and reporting back to the landlord. So if the agent, once you cleared with the agents, you're pretty much good to go. And it is why agents are an important part of the process.
That makes me question your research, because landlords are only not concerned about the rent. Maybe it's a different experience for you as a male, but I don't know. Females, it's all different. And also I know landlords who, it's not just the rent, they care about the personality. And also you mentioned personality matching as part of your
very different.
If you expand on that, can you let us know how that is going to work exactly on personality matching? You mentioned
Okay, so like I said, addressing the cost of renting and taking an apartment itself is secondary. It's a secondary. So what personality matching is going to be is that we again are looking at a way to address that increasing cost of rent by having people who are willing to share apartments. We are looking for a 3-bedroom flat. I want to share to 3 other. If you want to share to 2 other, for example, right? But again, you're meeting strangers, right? And these are people that you don't personally, unless you're taking it with friends, typically you're going to meet strangers. But we are trying to make that process less, I don't know, less, the word for it is not coming to me now, but what we're trying to accomplish, right, is that we're going to find people who their wants, people who their expectations or what they're looking for match. So for example, if you're looking for housing within a certain budget, right, you're going to be matched with people who are also looking for housing with a certain budget. If you we'll track user behavior, definitely. So we're going to match people. What I'm trying to say is that when I used this thing, budget as example, what I'm trying to say is I'm going to track user behavior. And then if we know that this person is indicated as looking to share apartments, then we'll also match the person with other people who are matching user behaviors. So they can actually choose, or they can now go further, can now develop the relationship, okay, talk or whatnot. And if it doesn't work out, you can get matched with someone else. Or you can just decline it, right, without having to go through the exploratory process. Of knowing the person or whatnot. But the point is, we're going to match people who suit what you're looking for, right? People who are essentially the same boat.
Okay.
I don't know if that clears it up.
But I would just say that in general, good work. Also, just look at your metrics and make sure that they are. Sorry, my dog. You have to make sure. Sorry about that. Just make sure that your metrics are measurable. That's it from me.
Oh yeah, definitely. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Omotayo. Thank you so much, Chioma. Please, Team Olympia, please take all the feedback and ensure that you work on that to improve on your on what you presented, your case study. Promise, I called you earlier, so I don't know if you have any other thing to add.
Hi. Nice presentation. I think the problem is also very, very valid. I just have a question around vetting the house owners in this case, right? I've seen different cases where people are scammed by their agents, even by the house owner, and house owner here in quotes, where they paid for the rent and there's actually no house, right? So how are you looking to solving such problems?
So it's why I talked about liaising. Okay, sure.
You mentioned something about the renters making payment for rent, and now they're going to trust us with their money. Am I correct?
No.
The question is how you want to vet your house owners and agents
to know that they're legitimate. So,
yes,
would you like them to proceed?
Yes.
All right, so I was going to say that it's why we're going to be working with the associations instead, and not less to the individual agents or quote unquote house owners. So these associations already have background checks. Everybody knows them. So it's more legitimate because it's a body, interfacing with the body and not an individual. May or may not be legitimate. The associations are recognized nationally and locally. Does that answer the question?
I lost you for a bit, please. Do you mind going over?
Okay, what I said was that while we would interface less with agents individually when we're acquiring them and more with associations, because the associations are recognized both nationally and locally. So they have checks and balances. But if you're fraudulent, your association will kick you out. So when we're acquiring users, when we're acquiring house owners or agents, basically, we are going to be going through the associations and not the individual agents specifically. So the associations will essentially do basically most of the vetting for us because, like I said, they are nationally and locally recognized bodies.
All right, that's clear. So where does that fall within your projected budget?
Like I said, we still have a runway of 40. So our budget is basically developing the app itself. So for the interfacing with the what you call it, the households, right? We still have 40,000. We still have 40,000 that we haven't used for anything, which we can then include as needed. But this budget just covers development, essentially project management, developing the app itself, developing the
MVP. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so I think that is all on the feedback. So please, if there are any questions on the questions that we have on the chat, we're going to be responding. Team Olympia is going to be responding to it on the chat, as we don't have a lot of time on our sleeves, so we need to run. Thank you so much.
You.
Demola, thank you so much. Everyone on the team, you've done a good job. And I see Trefford color on your slide. Well done. So we're going to move to the very last but not the least team that we have for today. I hope we're ready, or we are ready, and we are also prepared to take us on the journey. Team Artemis, I'm not sure. I think I don't need to spin my wheel anymore. So we have just Team Artemis to make their presentation for today. So while Team Artemis is coming up, please let's make sure that I see that a lot of us have a lot of questions and all of that in the chat section. Let's ask our questions politely, please. Let's ensure that we do that. Let us politely ask our questions. This is not a war front, and I know that all of us have put in a lot of work in this case study, in this project that we are presenting today. Kudos to everyone. Everyone is being appreciated, and this is just to give us, so the feedback we're giving is just that. That's why we are giving, like, our facilitators are trying as much as possible, and they're really giving constructive feedback and also asking questions that can help you improve on your case study. So please, let's all be polite about our questions and about our feedback via our chats, because like most of us are, apart from our panelists, all of us are asking our questions or giving the feedback via chats. It is appreciated, but let's do it politely. Thank you so much. So moving on, we have Team Artemis. Demola, please, can you stop sharing the screen so that we can have Team Artemis come up? And please, let's make sure that we stick to time. let's be time conscious. Favor, please, you can go ahead.
Okay, good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Good morning. I'm trying to share my screen, but it's showing host disabled attendee sharing screen.
You can share your screen now.
Okay. Okay, please let me know when you can see my screen.
Yes, your screen is up. Just take it to the presenting mode.
How about
now? We can see you. I can see your screen, but it's not presenting. It's just on the slideshow is not working yet.
How about now?
Same thing.
Okay. I guess I'll just use.
Yeah.
Can you see it now?
Yes. Just
okay.
Enlarge your screen and so that everyone.
Is this better?
What I mean by enlarge your screen is to take off the file and but you can just proceed. Don't worry, continue with your presentation. Yes, it's fine now. Yeah.
All right.
Great.
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. My name is Okori Favor, and I'm representing Team Artemis. And the name of our product is PalmFit. Now, I'll give a quick backstory to how we came up with the name. So palm represents your hand, your palm, convenience, and fit stands for fitness. So together, we came up with the name PalmFit. And as you can already tell, our product is the health tech product from the cover page. Okay, so I'll give a quick backstory as to how we were able to come up with this problem. So sometime in my office 2 years ago, there was someone, a staff, she was perfectly fine. She looked okay. Everything was going well for her. She was like, in fact, she was like the MVP in the office. But one day she collapsed in the office and everybody was wondering what was wrong with her and all. And then we realized that she was stressed and she hadn't been to the hospital in a long while. In fact, she doesn't really even care about her health. She just lives every day as it comes, facing traffic, coming to work, and just going on with the day. Right? So we were able to come up with this analysis, and it shows that 60% of related factors to individual health and quality of life are correlated to lifestyle. Also, millions of people follow unhealthy lifestyles. And because of this, people find it hard to, people don't even have time to go to hospitals, basically. Everybody's trying to make ends meet, so there's no time to go to the hospital. And then people are stressed. People also neglect their healthy lifestyle. So we decided to come up with a solution to solve this problem. And our solution is PalmFit. Basically, what PalmFit does is it provides telehealth services for our end users, and we also provide seamless healthcare and health risk assessment. Basically, we're looking for a way where customers, our users, can address their health issues on the go. They can take HRA tests, that's health risk assessments, to find out what exactly is the underlying health factor, health ailments that they have, so that they can check it before it escalates. So our goals and vision: we want to be Africa's #1 customer-centric online wellness solution provider. We want to create a community of fitness enthusiasts for the majority of the Nigerian workforce, enable Nigerians to track their wellness and make
Hi. Can anyone still hear Favor? Okay, Favor, we currently cannot hear you anymore. Please, if there's anybody in Team Artemis that would like to take over, we can't hear Favor anymore. Favor, your audio we can't. You might want to check your audio. Your audio and your video is gone. Can still see your slides, but we can't hear you. Modupe, is anybody going to take over from here?
Hi, Dylan.
Hi, I can hear you. We can no longer hear Favor. It's not just me.
She has network issues. Favor, are you there?
Is Favor back? Hi, Favor. Please, someone should take so that we are not, I think my time has stopped, but we spent close to 4 minutes already on this. So you have like 10 minutes, 10 to 11 minutes to go. So please, is anybody taking over from Favor, or we just have to wait till Favor is here?
Okay. Looks like I would have to go.
Hello? Can anyone hear or see me?
Yes, now I can hear you. We lost you for a bit.
Okay, I'm sorry, it's raining here, so my network is scrambled up.
Okay, you need to reshare your screen.
Okay. It's showing host disabled attendee sharing screen.
Okay. You can do that now.
Okay. Please, why did you lose in it so I can reiterate?
Can you go back to your previous slide and yeah.
Okay.
Just no, the one after the
First
problem. The solution, yes, you can.
Yeah.
Okay, so just to reiterate what I was saying, we came up with the product PalmFit. So PalmFit, what PalmFit does is it helps users get seamless healthcare on the go with their mobile phones. They also take health risk assessments, and this helps them understand their health without having to go all the way to hospitals, because most people do not like to go to hospitals because of how tasking it can be in the hospital. So we're bringing healthcare to them, basically. And our goals and visions to be Africa's #1 customer-centric online wellness solution provider, to create a community of fitness enthusiasts for the majority of Nigerian workforce, enable Nigerians track their wellness and make informed decisions, provide end users access to real-time information provided by health professionals. Okay, so we came up with these features, and these are some of the features. These are our MVPs that we'll be launching first. And I'll just quickly touch on each feature and what they will be doing. So for the health risk assessment, basically we'll be helping users understand their health risk based off some of the questions we'll be asking them about their lifestyle. So they'll be taking a poll, and then this will generate, they'll answer some questions and will generate like underlying factors that might affect their health, so that they can easily and quickly check it out at the hospital or using the online, booking an appointment with the doctors online. That brings me to the next MVP, which is doctor's appointment booking. So we know that most people don't like going to hospitals because of crowd. Many times when I'm sick, most people prefer to self-medicate once they feel like they have malaria or something. But then if you can book an appointment with the doctor online, and then you talk through your symptoms with him, and then he tells you what to do and what not to do, it will be easier for people. And then we also have community page. So community page is like a collaboration for other wellness enthusiasts. So we know that we always say that a team does better than just one person, right? So if you have other people that also have the same fitness goals with you, and you guys are in a community, it will be easier for you to stay on track with your fitness goals. I can make reference to PiggyVest. PiggyVest has something where you can save with people, and it motivates you to like want to do more because you know that you're not doing it alone. So basically, 2 heads are better than one. Then we have a fitness guide. For those of us that use iPhone, we have like I don't know about Android, but like I know for iPhone, there's like a fitness app that is like embedded in the phone that gives you like, sometimes it sends you like updates on like you need to take a walk or something. So we're going to have a fitness guide that basically reminds people to either take a walk, drink water, or whatever, just to keep them in check at intervals. So who are we selling to? We created a persona with Tonya and Sam. So basically, Tonya is a 35-year-old HR, and she loves her company, she loves her staff. So she's very particular about things that will like help the staff perform at optimum value. I mean, she doesn't want to come to the office one day and she hears that 5 of her staff members have fainted or they are sick or something happened to them. So she's looking for ways to like inculcate wellness into the grand scheme of activities that they will do in the office that will keep them fit and be able to perform optimally so that it doesn't affect the business. So we are certain that she is one of our target audience for PalmFit. And Sam is in his late 20s. He has his online business venture. Sam is mostly at home, working from home, or he goes out with friends at intervals. But because he is more or less like an introverted extrovert. So he's mostly indoors. But if he is like paired with a lot of people that are like open to having the same. Hello? Okay. I just wanted to be sure. Yeah, so if he has people that have the same like wellness goals with him and they can collaborate together, it will be easier for him to hit his fitness goals. Now, so these are like
Hi, can anyone still hear me?
Can anybody hear me?
Yes, now.
Wow. Okay.
Somebody
yes.
from Team Artemis might need to be on the standby so that we're not facing the same issue every time. So please proceed.
Okay. So sometimes people just want to check up on the symptom and they don't necessarily want to go through.
We can no longer see your screen. You need to reshare.
Can I see my screen now?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so they also want to reach experts from the comfort of their homes or get an HRA done, and to definitely be a win for them. So this is like competitive analysis of CribMD. So CribMD is like our competitors, and what they do is they enable patients request doctors for house calls, consultations via their platform. They also offer online pharmacy, virtual consultations. So their strengths and majorly their weaknesses are like people don't really know about them. I didn't really know about them till I even like searched for who our competitors could be, and they do not have like efficient customer service. There's like high demand on their platform, so service downtimes, like they experience a lot of service downtimes. So their strength is like it's really cheap. They offer like cheap subscription model, and they have over 5,000 registered doctors. And because of their partnership with WeCare, they have like an established health centers attached to them. So basically, these are our business models. So we're able to highlight our key partners. Basically, we'll be partnering with medical laboratories. We need dietitians. We need logistic firms to deliver drugs. We also need medical doctors to sign up. We need to register with pharmacies. We need social media influencers to push our products, digital marketing experts, and we also need product marketers. For key activities, we need to develop key features. We need to take note of like user experience, how are customers using our app, like what kind of experience are we giving to them? Are they finding it hard to navigate? Collaboration with healthcare providers. We also need to be sure that we prove to our customers that their security and privacy, their data is safe with us. Like they don't need to worry about like it getting out to third parties. And then we also like do continuous research and development to increase to get more features and make our products more viable for the market. Then we also provide user support and customer service. So for customer relationship, we have user onboarding, customer support, community building, user education, relationship management. We need front-end and back-end engineers, product designers, web and mobile app developers, product marketers, medical doctors, and dietitians. So our revenue stream will be for delivery fees when when drugs are delivered to our customers, and also subscription for subscription on the app. Then for cost structure, we need to hire designers, hire web developers, app developers. We need to run digital ads to increase conversion, leads and conversions on social media platforms. And we also need the call system for when people will need to talk to doctors online. And we also need to partner with logistics firms to help us deliver drugs. So our strategy, and this is something that CribMD didn't have. The fact that they didn't have like proper awareness. So we're planning to partner with influencers. So one person that comes to mind is Aproko Doctor, because Aproko Doctor is like someone that people already know as a registered like medical practitioner, and people listen to him a lot. So he does a lot of skits and all of that. So if we partner with him, we can increase talkability for the product, drive downloads, and top of mind awareness on social media. We also want to sponsor events like Verve Life Fit. There's this fitness thing they do, I think, every year. If you can sponsor those kind of events in exchange for a stand where we can talk to people about PalmFit, tell them about the benefits, and get them to download on site, it will be a win for us. And we'll also be doing referrals like for current users, getting them to bring their friends on board. Then we have digital sponsored ads, so that we can create top of mind awareness and drive up product downloads, bumper ads, social media ads, etc. So this is our success metrics. Under acquisition, I mean, we're working to have, we're looking forward to having a lot of people download the app. Conversion rate, like how are they using the app? Are they just downloading it and keeping it, or are they actually using the app? Are they enjoying the app? Is it beneficial to them? And our app store rankings, like where are we on the grand scheme of things in terms of ratings, and like when people search for health tech brands online, do we come top on the chart? For retention, user engagement, like are they actively using the app? Did they stop? Did they drop off? So we can be able to measure whether the app is successful, or whether we need to re-strategize or come up with new features that people are actually looking for on the app. Then for monetization, revenues from subscribers, conversion rate to paid users, sponsored content, or partnerships. At this point, I would hand over to Modupe to take us through the roadmap.
Okay, thank you very much, Favor. Hi, everyone. My name is Modupe, and I'm representing Team Artemis. So, quick one, going us through the roadmap, our key one would be to run other researches that we are yet to complete, and also would start by developing our wireframe to guide the product development. That is building the skeleton of the product. And then moving forward to designing the graphical user interface for the product. This is where the main design starts, and this is where the prototyping is happening. And then we'll develop the system architecture, and this is where the engineers start arranging how they will be carrying out the infrastructure of the product. And then the product development phase is where the mobile developer and the front end carry out their work. And then moving on to Q2, would be contesting and debugging. That will be hiring a QA company to help us test what we need to do and what is yet to be done, what we need to put to test in our product. And then we'll be implementing security measure and ensure compliance in this Q2. And then same Q2, we'll be preparing for our app launch. This time around, we are ready, and then we're ready to move our app to the market. And this is where this submission to the App Store. We'll be launching our app on Android and of course the iOS too. So on the third quarter, would be releasing, after granting, we really hope our app was granted to be able to launch out. So we'll be releasing our version 1, which is our MVP, and looking towards getting over 500 plus downloads. And of course, monitor our app performance and then get feedback from our users so we can put into place what needs to be done that we are yet to. Then we release updates and fix bugs that have been gotten from our user feedback. We have to continually maintain and enhance the app based on the user's needs and emerging technology. Okay, in the place of us using our app, in the place of people using the app, okay, these are the things that we need to put in place. And of course, the sorry, there is a mistake here. We would start marketing our products right from the quarter 3. Thank you very much.
Okay, so sorry, hold on, please. The mistake you pointed out, it's actually from my end because I was trying to switch to a screen. Please hold on.
I think we are out of time already, so we can just
Okay, we're just going to touch on pricing, but when questions come in, we can.
Okay, we can just fix that when we get question. Okay. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much. Although you spent like 2 minutes above the time, but
that's on me.
Sorry about that.
That's on me. I apologize.
It's okay. So I'm just going to pass the mic to our panelists. Starting from Promise this time. I promise.
Hi. So nice presentation here. Please, can you just walk me through the pricing model? I saw the delivery part, and can you just walk me briefly how you intend to really put the price on this product?
Okay, please just hold on. I want to share the screen that has like pricing. Okay.
So Favor, I think that you can start to speak on it while you're trying to share your screen.
Okay.
If that is
okay. All right. Okay. So we're going to have 3 categories of pricing based on subscription. So we have the copper package, we have the silver package, and we have the gold package. So for copper, it's going to be subscription is going to be 2K per month, and that gives them access to consultation, 1 HRA, and then a fitness guide. For the silver, we're going to have 5,000 per month plus extra cost for drugs. So whenever they need drugs to deliver to them, that cost is based off how much the drugs cost. And then the other package for this is consultation, appointment booking, 2 HRAs per month, fitness guides, and then they can belong to communities. Then for the gold package, we're looking at 10,000 per month plus extra cost for advanced tests and screening such as MRI, CT. This is based off if the appointment with the doctor tells them that they need to do a scan or something. Then the package for this is consultation, appointment booking, 2 HRAs per month, monthly check-in with doctors, fitness guides, and then they can also belong to a community.
All right, that's clear. So how do we intend to pay or incentivize the doctors? How does that go?
Okay, so what we thought of for that is we're going to have a system where after the doctors register, we're going to, every time they attend to a patient, it will be registered on the platform. So at the end of the month, we're going to pay them based off the number of customers, the number of clients that they attended to within that period of the month.
And also we would be having hospitals register as a body. So literally we can get to talk to a doctor straight off from an hospital. So we can literally pick a doctor from an hospital if it's available. So we would not have any point to pay the doctor. We will just have like an a deal with the hospital. Okay, this is the hospital is dealing with the laboratory, the pharmacy, and then so there will be like a remuneration that goes to the hospital directly, not just to the doctors. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say.
Okay, so are you going to be partnering with the doctors directly or to the hospitals?
We'll be partnering with doctors, we'll be partnering with hospitals.
Okay, that's. Please, we can, Angela, you can go on. I think I will revert back.
All right, okay. Now to Chioma.
Yeah, great presentation, guys. Well done. My question is around, you mentioned your competitor, you said they're not really known. So I know that in product management, sometimes looking at the pain point of your competition helps you. Like, okay, this is something people don't know that other product. So what are you going to do differently to market your products better?
Okay, so we're going to be big. We're going to be big on customer service, because from this slide you can see that one thing that Group MD lacked was customer service, inefficient customer service. So we're going to put in place measures for customers, multiple measures for customers to be able to lay their complaints, so that we are able to tighten every news, and so we don't have cases where customers are complaining too much and then it affects the ratings of the app on App Store or Play Store. And then we're also going to be big on awareness, which is why I said we're partnering with medical influencers to also like give the product credibility and also increase awareness of the product. Because if for example an Aproko doctor that has a large following, if I sometimes I check his impressions and they are actually a lot. So if someone like an Aproko doctor and maybe Dr. Zobo or some other doctors, medical influencers can push the Sabi doctor, there are a lot of them, so they can also help us like push awareness. So that way we're tackling Crib MD's weaknesses, which is awareness and customer service.
And yes, our marketing, we'll also be big on marketing based on the fact that we would make our marketing strategy one of the major things that we have to achieve by hiring big guys on the marketing team. That we will definitely have a team that are going to be looking for one or two things that they are going to use as an edge for us to be in the market big time. So we are looking forward to hiring big guys on the marketing teams.
Okay. So when you were showing us your business model canvas, looking at the key partners, I saw labs, dietitians, logistic firms, medical doctors, pharmacies, social media influencers, like a lot. So how is it that you plan to offer all these services on your app? Like even when there's a test required, you're going to partner with labs to get that test. All that.
Yes. So you know we're partnering with hospitals. So basically it's like all in one, right? If we're partnering with hospitals, it means that hospitals kind of have pharmacies. So we're saying if you are on a call with like maybe a doctor from one of the hospitals and he tells you, oh, you need so and so product, you need so and so drugs and so and so drugs, you can get it from our pharmacy, we'll have it delivered to you and all of that. That's where logistics firm come in, because now the drugs is going to be delivered to you at an extra cost, of course. So basically we highlighted them, but in the grand scheme of things, if you look at it, it's like all in one, basically. For partnering hospitals, definitely they have medical labs, they will have dietitians, they will have medical doctors, they will have pharmacies, and the like.
So this is not so for instances where you're partnering with doctors directly, not the hospitals. How is
Okay,
that?
so if we're partnering with doctors, they can always maybe refer them to hospitals that are registered with what's it called, PAMFIT.
Okay, so I'm really curious about this partnership with hospitals because it sounds to me like people are in direct competition. Like, so how is that partnership going to work? How are you going to get hospitals on board?
I think it kind of works like HMOs, maybe. HMOs have like they're registered to, okay, for example, my company, I use we use Hygieia HMO, and Hygieia HMO partners with Motayo Hospital. So if I have anything, I can go to Motayo Hospital and then my HMO covers it. So I think at the end of the day, we're still bringing revenue to them. So it's not like we're stealing their I call it customers now, seems negative. It's not like we're stealing their patients. It's not like we're stealing their patients, but it's still a win for them. It's not like they're doing it for free. We're still going to be paying them at the end of the day.
I think they are all our users, which we can call patients, are still directed to them because we don't have a site, we don't have a physical office, we don't have doctors of our own. At the end of the day, we are still referring them to these hospitals to come for treatment.
Yeah, and technically we're also increasing their awareness.
Exactly.
And okay, wait, so in this hospital scenario now, patients, so wait, people are going to subscribe to your app to be able to access these hospitals, right?
Yeah.
Is it like double payments for them where, okay, I still have to pay money to use this app, then the hospital is still going to charge me?
Okay, what we're trying to do now. Okay, sorry for interrupting. Sorry for interrupting. You can just continue.
No, I was saying, so why don't I just walk into a hospital and just pay the hospital fee?
Convenience.
Yeah.
What we are trying to do is convenience and the fact that there is a lot of negligence from people. Most times rather, people don't get to go to the hospital until they are down, until they can no longer move. Okay, little things like feeling some symptoms that you don't understand. And we know how Google can be these days. You can just have menstrual cramps and then just check, maybe it's coming out differently this time around, and then you have to ask Google, and Google is telling you that you might die the next minute. Now you can just talk to a doctor one-on-one and tell the doctor, okay, the doctor can ask you a few questions that, okay, have you been doing this? Have you done that? Have you done this in the recent day? Did you change anything in your diet? It's just for convenience and at the same time to bridge the gap of negligence from the people as an overview, yeah.
I get them. Let's ask some questions around, like, okay, if I still have to do tests, I still have to go to the hospital.
That was my.
And then go home.
Yeah, but now, so if you're going to do the test, the thing is, you're not just going to the hospital as per, I'm here to do a test. You're booking an appointment. Like, okay, so and so time, I'm coming to do a test at this hospital. So now you know that, okay, by 10 a.m., I'm going to the hospital to book an appointment. And when you get to the hospital, I have an appointment with so and so lab, I'm supposed to do a test, and then you do your test.
I don't know. This is the ideal scenario where everything is working seamlessly, right? Like,
of course, you're going to encounter problems, yeah. So that's where research and development comes in. That's why I said that it might happen that you get to a point where we need to go back to the drawing board and see what we can tweak or what we can change to serve people better. So, yeah.
So I think my questions are kind of related to what has been asked already. First and foremost, I feel like I don't know how many doctors you spoke to, but doctors typically would not want to prescribe medication without tests, because that's why when you go to WebMD, like you said, you can put in the same symptoms and to tell you that you have some degenerative disease that you're about to die, and they're always careful, especially because of malpractice. And it's medicine and people's health is not something that you joke with or you just say stuff, So I know that most doctors usually are weary of that. So I feel like at the end of the day, people would still need to go to the hospitals to do tests. Because if I reach out to a doctor and say I've been having headaches for the past 2 weeks, and I've taken paracetamol for the past 2 weeks, because most Nigerians, if we're being honest, self-medicate with things like that. I've taken paracetamol for the past 2 weeks and the headaches hasn't stopped, and that's the reason why I've reached out to you on this app. The doctor is probably going to tell me to go get checked out, because that's not normal. That's you cannot just tell me start taking diclofenac because some other stronger and pain reliever. Because if anything happens, if that headache is precursor to a more serious ailment, there's no way he's going to know. So I was going to ask what the difference between you and HMO is, because I said that one of your user personas was a boss at work that did not want staff members to collapse and whatever. So why should I come on board your app for my staff and not HMO? Then what is the actual value that the app is giving me if I still have to go into the hospital because of the, how medicine really works? Yeah, and I think that that's kind of related to what, Promise was asking, that at the end of the day, I'm still going to the hospital for a test. I don't think scheduling tests really is a problem, because I've not had to go to the hospital in Nigeria and they've said I should do tests, and it's taking me 50, like 10, I had to come back the next day or whatever. Most times, especially for non-government hospitals, I'm able to do the test almost immediately and then just come back for results if it's not test that can get immediate results. So yeah, what exactly is the difference between using your app and just going to the damn hospital when I feel feverish? Because again, the example you gave at the beginning was someone who felt fine or was just neglectful of her health, did not do regular checkups. How is your app going to push people to do regular checkups? And why should I go with you and not an HMO instead? I think those are my questions.
Okay, Modupe, do you want to?
Okay, I think I will come from the why we would chosen rather than going to the hospital directly. Yeah, there are instances where we would feel some things and then we neglect it. Now I can, like you mentioned having headache. Now I can be having headache for like few weeks and then I would not even want to take should I say take something to eat or bother about it because I am already used to it. Now PalmFit is here for you to be able to consult a doctor. Now before a doctor would have to test you physically, there will definitely be some questions that you'll be asked that, okay, have you done this? Have you been doing some strain of work these days? Have you been stressed? Have you been eating some particular kind of food? What's your genotype? Do you have some underlying illness? Okay, do you have to go to a lab checkup or do you have to go to a doctor straight? Or okay, do you have to take a particular prescription that, okay, these days in the hospital, let me say from my experience, I've been to an hospital that I was not even tested. I was just asked different kind of questions that, okay, are you experiencing this? Do you have this? Okay, take so questions. Most times, people don't even get tested. People don't get tested most times in the hospital. They will just ask you questions. At worst case scenarios, let me say Nigeria hospitals, worst case scenario is when they get to testing, and which the doctor can usually tell you on the app that, okay, you can just go to this hospital. You can go to an hospital to get tested. I don't think we can further this conversation. You need to get tested. There are situations whereby you will need to just avoid some foods. There are situations whereby you need to take some precautions. So in most times, don't even have to be physically present to know what's up. Now, what we take you to the hospital now is when you have to take tests, which you have already gotten should I say a recommendation from a doctor previously. So that works for you choosing PalmFit before going to the hospital. I don't know if you have something else to say.
Can I just quickly speak on that. I don't totally agree on not seeing the person, because all the times I've gone to the hospital, for instance, they first of all check your blood pressure, right? There are different things that could influence that headache. There are different things that could influence the slightest symptoms that you have, right? So most hospitals will first check your blood pressure before they start even you, okay, what are you feeling? What's going on and all of that. So it will be very difficult for a doctor to just prescribe something for you off the phone. It's going to be very difficult. I think the other question I had was around the around the HMO, right? Nice thing that you actually used HR as one of the user personas, right? We know that for most companies these days, HMO is like one of the basic things that they offer. Was there any thought around HMO and how it impacts this product? Was there any thought around that at all?
Not extensively.
Okay, not extensively. Was there any thought, even the slightest of thought around it?
Yeah, but we didn't actually dwell on it.
Okay, because first of all, right, if your user persona has a clear HMO, we probably not be checking Google for something that is serious, right? Besides even Google, they'll probably just go straight to the HMO hospital because it is more affordable, right? And it's more affordable, basically, right? I think one of the major problems, especially with Lagos and maybe the island, for example, health is expensive. Like anything health related is expensive as God knows what, right? So a lot of people leverage using their HMO. So it would have been nice to see how there was like if there is a partnership or a synergy between HMO and this product, because again, most people probably have HMO these days that is more affordable. So the chances of going to an app to go and check for a hospital that maybe doesn't have my HMO thing with it will be very slim, because I'm going to spend more money there as opposed to somewhere that I may not even spend anything. So if this is something that's going to go into the market, there need to be like really strong thoughts around how HMO influences or impacts your product, because almost all companies these days have that as the basic perks that they give to their employees. So it's been very, very nice to see how that influences your product.
Thank you very much for that feedback. It's really appreciated.
Thank you, Promise. So I think that is all from our panelists. Thank you so much, Team Artemis. If please you can attend to the questions that we have in the chat section, and we have I think this is the end of the case study presentation, and we're going to be wrapping up everything very soon. Say in 10 minutes, but I would like, okay, before I share the result for this case study, I want us to understand that this is a presentation and each team had feedback and questions peculiar to their presentations. So there wasn't and our panelists they didn't know what you guys were working on, like what you guys were working on in the terms, in the case of the solution you were going to propose or the problem statements, they are just having the first contact with the slides today as you were making your presentations. And that also brings me to the fact that I didn't get most of this. So there was no way I was even going to share these presentations with them because I myself did not have access to these slides before this time. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you thank you to everyone that has joined us on YouTube. Thank you to everyone that has the team members, the students, the panelists that have joined us on this call. So I'm going to very soon, and shout out to our learning partner who is also here with us. Thank you to Thank you for the support you provided during this collaboration and over the course of the bootcamp as well. So I'm going to, while we're trying to get the feedback, like feedback meaning like the results from the presentations that we just had, I'm going to drop in the link to the Slido event. So I would like us to participate. I would like us to participate in the poll. We want to know how well you enjoyed this session, and the normal questions are always. So I want to know how well you enjoyed the session and what your key takeaway from the session is. And I'm hoping that even after this session, you're still able to go back to, because each of us have our private groups, we're still able to go back to these presentations based off on the feedback that has been given, and we are able to also like work on this and improve on it, as this can also be added to whatever portfolio that we are building. And my last shout out is to my colleague on the call, Feromi, I can't see you, and also my other colleagues that are watching and that have joined us via YouTube. So thank you so much for joining this session. It was I'm very sure that we all enjoyed the session, and we also have our feedback, but time will not permit us to have everyone talk or have everyone ask question or give an input to this. So we recognize all of you. So I mentioned I'm going to share the link to the Slido event so that we can see. Not so that we can see, so that we can give our updates, our feedback on this poll. Please let's ensure to give our feedback, give your feedback. So before I share my results, I'm going to share the feedback poll first. So I want all of us to be on the call. I'm going to share the feedback poll first, and I'm going to share the result of the whole presentation for each group. And also I would like our facilitator, our panelists, apologies for that. I would like our panelists to give like a general feedback and also maybe comments to and words of encouragement to everyone on the call. So right about now, okay, I think I'll go with our panelists giving their final feedback or comments before they take their leave. I'm going to start with Omotayo, then Chioma will come next, then we can have Promise.
Okay, so I just want to say great job, everyone. Everyone did an amazing job. Look, it was obvious that we put in the work, we did the research, we thought it through. It's not easy to be a PM. And when you're going to meet investors to give you their money, they're going to ask you a lot of tough questions, and they're going to tackle you because they want to be sure that you know what you're doing and that you're able to, you've covered all your bases and you're able to give them returns on their investment. So yeah, I just want to say good job, everyone. Let's just keep working and keep improving. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Omotayo. It's nice seeing your face. Thank you so much. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for your time as well. Looking forward to doing more with you. So Chioma, please, you can go ahead with your comment and your feedback. Okay.
Hi everybody.
Hi.
Well done. I know it must not have been easy, preparing for this presentation. I know the nerves that go along with that. So well done, everybody. What I would say is, as a product manager, we should try not to like base decisions or on our own like on ourselves or what we think, or sometimes we're not even the best case studies of our products. Like, okay, I have this problem, but you need to go and do extensive research to make sure that you understand the problem, and it's not just you. Speak to users, speaking to users, ask questions, think outside the box. Don't just think of it in one way. Like, okay, if for the general thing I noticed today is that, okay, we're looking at it from one side. Look at the whole picture. Okay, if I'm going to have vendors on my platform as well as the people who are going to buy from the vendors, make sure you're not just talking to the people, the customers who are going to buy. Look at the vendors, look at their pain points, because there are a lot of products in the markets. I don't think they're unique ideas anymore. So you have to look at what's already being done. How can you do it better? How can you improve? Yeah, so research is key. So well done, everybody. Welcome to product management.
Thank you so much, Chioma. Thank you for your time, and also please let's take this as let's not take it lightly. Research is very important, as Chioma said, and let's make sure that we do, like, we talk to our potential users. Don't make yourself you might be facing the same problem, but if you're building a product for the general public, you don't want to make assumptions that you have seen all the problems or you have seen all the use cases. You want to do your research and you want to do it diligently. You want to speak to everyone's pain points if you're really looking to solving a problem. Thank you so much, Chioma. Thank you for your time. It's great to have you here with us. Promise, Hi. Yeah, and it's great to see your face, Chioma, as well. Thank you so much. Beautiful women. All right, Promise. Please.
Nothing much. I think Chioma has said what I actually wanted to say. Great work, everyone. Well done for finishing the program, and welcome to product management. As Chioma said, but these days, everything that you want to build, somebody has built it. Pretty much, right? So as much as that is a good thing in the sense that, okay, now you have more context, it's still difficult because now you have to find how you stand out and how you're giving value to your to the customers, basically. So it is very important that for what you're building, you need to think about outside the box. You need to really, really dwell on the user's needs, because that's pretty much what would make you pretty much stand out, right? There is that, and also the execution of the work. I see, or during the entire presentation, there were a lot of talks around the idea, the user problem. All of that are very great, right? That's just one phase of the work. Then the execution is a different ball game altogether. The resources, knowing the number of resources you need, knowing how to get the team to get what you want, it's a different conversation altogether. So there is also need for focus in that area as well to get the product out to the users. So that being said, congratulations to you guys. We can't wait to see us on the field, basically. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Promise, and thank you for this feedback. Everyone is waiting for us on the field already, and as Promise said, there is no, most of the things that we are working on the problems that we're trying to solve, somebody already has a solution to them. So we want to have a unique selling point, and we also want to think about the execution. As much as we're having user story, we're having user personnel, we're having solution statement and all of those things. We want to look at how best can we execute this particular thing that we were trying to work on or we were trying to build. Thank you so much, and thank you to all our panelists. It's really nice seeing your faces, and thank you for the feedback, the comments, the questions asked, and also the solutions that were being proposed directly or indirectly on all of these case studies that have been presented. So I see that a lot of us have not filled this poll. So please, let's fill the poll. It's not going to take so much of our time. We're just going to, we just need to click on the link I shared. Our students are very familiar with this already. So please, the students, please, let's make sure, just click on the link and or if you have your phone with you, you're on your PC, you can scan the code on my screen to take you to this particular poll. So please, let's get it up to at least, if it's one more person that joins, I'm going to share the result of the poll so that, sorry, apologies for the noise in my background, so that we can proceed to sharing the final results for this case study, and then we can officially end the bootcamp with some further information about what's next after the bootcamp. Now that we are, and it will be nice if everyone can show their video, and I would like to have a screenshot. I think I want to give this information before now, but please, as much as possible, as much as possible, if it's possible for you to share your video, open your video and let us have a, yes, thank you. Let us have a group picture. So please, okay, I've gotten the response. Let's just get our videos ready. Let's start to put them on while I go through this poll this feedback that has been given. Okay. Oh, wow. Somebody rated the session a 1. I'm so surprised. All right. We had 12 people fill this poll, and on a scale of 5, we asked how well did you like this session, and the session was rated a 4.3 on a scale of 5. Not so happy with the 1 rating, but this is what it is, and thank you. Would look forward to improving on our processes so that we don't get 1 rating anymore. Okay, so moving on, what is your one main takeaway, your main takeaway from this session? And I see understood that research is no joke, and it's not enough to use ourselves and people around for referees. Yes, you need to do the research, find people. You're not just the only person that has faced the problem that you're trying to solve. People should, and don't make assumptions. All teamworks were amazing. I realized that there's more work to be done personally. There's still work to be done. And the feedbacks were helpful. It would assist in improving on our work, new ideas, thought processes, how people think, and products. People should learn to take corrections and feedback, not leveraging sentiments or personal reservations to analyze situations. Also, be teachable. Thank you so much to everyone that's giving the feedback on the takeaway. So I see, what would you advise to improve on? Oh, this is all good news. Thank you, Treford. Thank you too. Thank you everyone for joining this bootcamp. It was amazing working with us all, and I'm very, very glad that we have come to the end of the bootcamp. I'm rooting for everyone. And yes, being a PM is not easy. It is a full-time job. So please, let's take all the things that we've learned from here. Our resources are still going to be very much available to us. So you can go back to watch all of the things that you've been taught all through the bootcamp, and also access the slides. You don't want to sleep on the things that you've learned. Learning also continues. So please, let's make sure that we keep on our toes and we keep learning. If there's still something you don't understand, you can, most of our facilitators, you can reach out to them on their socials. We already put that on the LMSC, so you can connect with them either on LinkedIn or Twitter. So you can, like, you just need to introduce yourself that you are from the product management bootcamp cohort 9, and they will be willing and very much available to help with the questions that you have. And also, you want to also leverage on your teammates. We understand that all of us are not on the same knowledge level. Some already understand most of these things, and as we know, we have some people on this course that were already they're already practicing product managers. So you might just want to reach out to them to if you're having any blocker in doing any of these other things that you need to get done. And as well, after this bootcamp, there's going to be a mentorship session. So we're not going to start this immediately. We're going to be starting this I'm going to give information about this, and it's going to be just one time in a week. Once every week, it's going to be a general meeting where you can come to continuously ask questions. If you're applying to jobs, you can get assistance with how to go about your interview and what to get you ready and all of those things. So you don't want to also miss these sessions. So more information about this will be given to us. I know a lot of us are already waiting. We're already waiting for the results of this for this session. The result is coming, and we're going to, so let us know that this is just a feedback. This is not we should not take this to heart. Everyone is a winner, and we are happy that we all could participate on this call, on this case study and on this bootcamp. I know the work that a lot of us have put into, we really put in a lot of work on the case study, the numerous meetings, the numerous chats that you were sending to me. And the numerous, I need guidance. I need to speak with this person. I need to speak with that person. How do we go about this? How do we not go about this? And all of that. You people, everybody tried. Everybody has done a good job. And having to also adjust your schedule to match with, to make time available for these weekend sessions also is something that I will applaud us for. So you've done so well. Let's not take these results to heart. Okay, so I'm going to be sharing my screen in a bit, but before I share my screen, so that everybody will not run away after I share my screen and announce the results. Please, can you, if you're able to open your video, please start your video. Let us do the screenshot. I want to see our faces, our beautiful faces. And I've not been able to this is the first time I'm seeing most of us on this call. I've just seen our pictures, but I've not seen us live video. So please, if you can put on your video, to be nice to see your faces. Yeah, thank you, Priscilla. Thank you, Johnson. More to come. Messi, Bukumi, Temitope, Mudupe, Adekunle, Tracy, thank you. All right, Priscilla, your video is gone. Adekunle, Claire, Amarachi, Anguli, Odera. Okay, I think Odera's video cannot come on. Okay, Johnson, your video is gone. Then 196881. You might want to rename yourself, please. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Sheo Ibrahim. Thank you so much. Claire, your video is trying to come on, but it's going off. Johnson, your video has gone. Then shout out to everyone joining us on YouTube. Please, if you want to be a part of our programs, please reach out to us at admissions@trefford.org, admissions.trefford@trefford.org. We're available to answer all your questions. And also you might just want to check us out, check our website, that's trefford.com. So on our website, or trefford.africa, yes, trefford.africa. On our website, you see all the programs that we offer, and from there you can also all the programs that we offer, you can download brochures. We're having our product marketing bootcamp very soon, so if you're interested in the marketing and product marketing, you might want to be a part of this bootcamp as well. So just reach out to us at admissions@trefford.org and check us out at trefford.africa. Our e-learning tool is also live. You can also learn at your pace. So you want to check all of this information out. And you can, for people that are still like that have been that particular on our bootcamp, you can still reach out to me. I'm very much available on Slack and also available on WhatsApp. Most of us you can just enter my DM if you have any questions outside after the bootcamp. So can we all say cheese? It's just about 5 of us that put on our video. Okay, I think Aisha was going to put on a video. All right, teachers, just to the few of us that are here, and I'll put on our video. Thank you, geez. All right. I think I captured that already. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining this session. It was a great one with everybody. Now to our results. I don't know why I'm laughing so much, but there is nothing. There's no reason why I'm laughing so much. just trust me. Let me just ensure that there is nothing missing and we are all good. I know that people that are watching us via YouTube are also waiting for these results. Don't worry, we're coming with it and you will see our results very, very soon. In less than a minute, we are here for you. Okay, I think I'm done. We are done. All right. Then also, if you want to write about your journey with Trefford, how the bootcamp has been on any of the social media, or you have a learning, a writing, a blog post, you can also hashtag us on this social media by putting, I'm going to put that on, you can journal your learnings, how the bootcamp has been, how your journey on this program has also been, just by putting this as your hashtag. I learned with Trefford, journey on social media using I learned with Trefford, hashtag I learned with Trefford. Let's not forget that. And you can tag us at Trefford on all social media, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Instagram. So this is the hour of truth. Yeah, who is excited? Please, can I get some flowers?
This tension is too much now. Oh.
Don't worry, nothing. Just okay. I think I already have. I know that everyone is under tension. Don't be tensioned. I'm just going to go right into sharing my screen right now. Here is the. Can we see my screen? Yeah. So here's the results from the rating, and we can see that all of these things that these were the things that our panelists weighted us on, and we see how valid the problem was and the solution to the problem, how the business is going to make money and how viable the business model is, how scalable the product is, and what will the MVP look like and what the roadmap will also look like, and how well does your product fit into the market that you're trying to penetrate. And then communication, the timing, and the presentation. All of these were being rated, and this is the result of the ratings. We had 4 teams, Team Giza, we had Team Colossus and Team Olympia, and Team Artemis. So coming in the first place, we have Team Olympia. Congratulations to you. Second place goes to Team Giza, and the third place goes to Team Colossus. Then the 4th place goes to Team Artemis. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you to all the teams. You have all done well. I honestly would not. This is no cap. You have all done well. Thank you so much for your participation, and thank you for the time that you dedicated into this boot camp. Thank you so much. So I think we've come to the end of the showcase, and this is where I stop to share my screen. I hope we are happy. I hope we're not sad. I hope we're good. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you to everyone that has joined. All right. I see Tomi say I'm happy. Everybody should be happy. You've done so well. Honestly, you have done well. So it's great that we are here, and okay. It's great that we are here, and thank you so much. I don't know if our learning partner has anything to say. We're just going to. So this is me just putting our learning partner on the spot. Hi, Toyin.
Yeah, hi, Adira.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks a lot, everyone. It was good listening to everyone's ideas, and just like I also was able to meet with, I think 1 or 2 of the teams now, I can't remember, but I think I met with one of the teams a couple of times. I met with, I think, one other one, I think once. So it was good to listen in. I think a couple of feedback from my end will just be that it will be good to, always just prepare yourself for presentations like this, have like demos to yourself personally within your team members. So it kind of helps you stay prepared, right? I think it's one of the things that you want to probably do for, like, in case you find yourself in this type of position next time, so you don't have to rush things. And then it also helps you kind of like learn the whole essence of time management. One of the key skills of product managers is communication, and being able to communicate, being able to get stakeholders buy-in, being able to pass your point across with like minimal information, and you don't overload people with a lot of information. So it was good listening to everyone. I'll be looking forward to engaging the other people on the other people in the mentorship sessions. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for marriage. Well done, and congrats to the winning team, by the way.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Toyin. Thank you for the guidance provided during these case study sessions and case study collaboration. Thank you. And we're also looking forward to having discussions with you during the mentorship session. So I'll be giving more information about that. Thank you so much to everyone that's joined us. I think we've come to the end of this session. It was nice having us here, and looking forward to the next 6 weeks with us. That's going to be for the mentorship session. And thank you to everyone that has joined us on YouTube. We are we're happy that you're able to join us and we're able to listen to all the teams present their case studies. We're looking forward to, if you've not been on our programs before, we're looking forward to having you as well, so that you can also come make your presentation as these teams have made theirs. Okay, thank you so much. I'm still going to be here for if you have any questions regarding like after the boot camp. And I also want to give 1 or 2 information before I end the session. But thank you.